posting, "Now, do the Epstein files." While the White House is touting the release of the King files, they still are not releasing the full files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Mary Bruce reports Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says the documents detail the FBI's investigation into the assassination, discussion of potential leads, and more. Well, traffic signals in the city of Roswell are being outfitted with technology designed to improve response times for emergency vehicles.
All 107 lights in the city will soon have the technology from Alpharetta-based Applied Information. A video on Roswell's social media explains how the system works.
Emergency vehicles communicate wirelessly to request a green light as the vehicle approaches the intersection. The system also triggers a yellow, then red light for cross traffic.
It reduces the risk of crashes and can improve response times by up to 20%, and those precious seconds can make all the difference in life or death emergencies. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Coca-Cola confirms it will launch a new Coke product made with U.S. cane sugar this fall. The company reveals the news as it posts stronger than expected second quarter profits. Coke beats Wall Street estimates as consumers continue to pay higher prices for the company's soft drinks. The Atlanta-based company reports revenue of more than $12.5 billion for the quarter. Cookie Monster taking on NASCAR. The popular Sesame Street character is tapped to be the Grand Marshal for this Sunday's Brickyard 400 race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. His appearance is part of Sesame Street's Road Trip Across America campaign. Different Sesame Street characters will pop up across the country this summer and fall at state fairs, major and minor league baseball parks, and other fun events. It's part of an effort to bring communities together. It's now 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. First, though, time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Triple team traffic with Smile and Mark McKay.
Seeing improvement, Cheryl, on that south side perimeter. Past a crash on the shoulder we see on the Jam Cam, 285 westbound to the inner loop at Riverdale Road, exit 60. Toughest part of I-85 coming out of Gwinnett into DeKalb northeast Atlanta has to be that ride out of Brookhaven, where solid delays now on I-85 southbound approaching Claremont Road, exit 91. That takes you down to 17th Street, backing up 400 toward Buckhead. 400 delays still left over between Alpharetta and Roswell from Haynesbridge Road down to Roswell Road, down to Roswell's Holcombridge Road. How about that slow ride still in Marietta? Ashley Frasca.
Taking about 30 minutes on 75 South, still leaving Ackworth from Wade Green down to 285. You find the brake lights just past 575. And speaking of, the ride out of Woodstock, still a little sluggish from Town Lake Parkway on 575 South. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy and hot today, high 95. That's trending about 5 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Tomorrow's high is 86.
Right now, partly cloudy, 78 degrees in Marietta. McDonough, you're mostly sunny, 80 degrees, 79, and mostly cloudy in Norcross. We'll have more news for you at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends. Great Tuesday on tap for you today. 3 hours of information just flying across your radio dial. This is the Mark Arum Show. Picked up some breaking news in the Epstein case. We'll go to the White House in just a little bit to get an update on that. Very excited. 9:50. My wife was verklempt when I told her that Henry Golding, the actor from Crazy Rich Asians and The Gentleman, he's going to be joining us live at 9:50. We got Scott Slade at 10:35. Greg Bluestein, our buddy from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, with some more movement in the Georgia Senate race. A lot of stuff to cover today as we ramp up to Thursday's beginning of the 25th annual WSB Carathon. I want to start, though, with an absolute gut punch to me and my generation yesterday, the tragic passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Apparently was drowned while on vacation in Costa Rica. This one hurt. Joining me live in studio, my compadre, fellow Gen Xer, Fred Blankenship from Channel 2 Act. You were the first person I thought of when that news popped, because you and I grew up with the Cosby Show. That was our show.
Theo was like somebody. He was like your brother who lived in a different room you just didn't see. That often, and that was the impact that Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo, had on us growing up. And you think about so many things. You think about the Gordon Gartrell episode.
Oh, the shirt, classic.
Denise, my arms are the same length. Why are my sleeves, it's tucked into my socks? So when he got the or when he got the earring episode.
Yes.
And, and Cliff is like leaning back and looking at him, or when he told his dad, you're a doctor and mom's a lawyer, and just instead of loving me for being what you want me to be, love me for being your son. And the audience claps and whatever. And the dad, Cliff, says, "That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. You are afraid to learn because you are afraid the information is going to ooze out of your ear and down your face." Those were lessons you got through Theo.
What I got from the show, I mean, and if folks don't know, like Vinny grew up, he was not alive when the Cosby Show was on. We only had 3 or 4 TV channels, Vinny, and so like the whole nation was watching the Cosby Show on Thursday nights. What it meant to me was, and Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away at the age of 54, couple years older than me and you, and I think we might have had a similar experience with the Cosby Show. The fact that Theo was like 3 years older than me. Like, I learned life lessons from Theo before I got to that point in life. Whether it was, not having the best clothes in school, like not having the designer stuff or the earring, or just it was a blueprint. Like, oh, in 3 years, I'm going to deal with this. Oh, sibling argument, or I don't have the coolest clothes. To me, that was what made the show and Theo so special. It was, hey, this is what's coming up in the next couple of years as you become a teenager, little Mark Arum.
The same things are going on in your house.
Yes.
The conversations on how to get ready for a date, or what you should do, how much you should spend for a shirt. Things like that. That was coming up. And in Theo's character, Malcolm Jamal Warner even said this. He said, Theo wasn't the coolest character.
No.
And he was a normal kid.
Normal, yes.
He was a normal kid.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that was Malcolm Jamal Warner stayed normal all throughout his career. It's hard to have that kind of stardom.
Absolutely. I'm going to play a clip from, I reached out to Monica Coffin-Pearson yesterday. She interviewed Malcolm Jamal Warner on Peachtree TV on her show, and I just asked if we can, it was an amazing interview, of course, it's from Monica, and I asked her if I could play pieces of it today, and she said yes. And it was I don't think folks that weren't there can imagine how successful that TV show was. Right. Like, #1 in the ratings. The whole nation was watching it. Monica asking Malcolm Jamal Warner about that success at an early age.
I used to do interviews as a teenager, and people would say, "What's it like being successful at such a young age?" And even at 15, 16, 17 years old, I would say, well, the show is successful. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm successful. I said, until I'm 40, 50, 60 years old and have worked consistently as an actor, then I'll be able to look back and say, I've had a successful career. So now that I'm 50-something, I think it's been this, like in the last 2 years, wow, I am in my 50s. Okay, yes, it's safe to look back and say, wow, I've had a successful career. But there's still a long road ahead of me.
Now, if I was 15 and starring on The Cosby Show, my head couldn't fit through this door to get it. I would have been like, I am such...
Yeah.
But how grounded he was to be like, no, the show's successful. I'm not successful.
That's why the backstory is important. When he was, I saw an interview when he was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He would go on trips with his dad.
Yes.
Right? And his dad would make him write book reports on famous black figures.
Yes.
And he said, did he want to do it all the time? No. But because it was his dad, he did it, right? And that was a guiding principle in his life. He was a poet long before he was an actor.
Yeah.
So I believe he auditioned for The Cosby Show on the final day of a nationwide search.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay, so that's how it works out, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes on to do The Cosby Show. Great success right there. Then he goes on to do a show called Malcolm and Eddie with Eddie Griffith, right? And then he goes on to have guest starring roles on shows like Girlfriends and other things as well. And at the same time doing his poetry. And also, he also played, I believe, the bass. And he did so many other things, and a spoken word author, all that good stuff,
man.
right? But he was always about doing the work. And I go back to it, being normal. Okay, that's a beautiful thing to be in this world, where you feel like you have to I got to stand out and I have to do more and I have to whatever. He was kind of content to do the best job that he could.
Yeah.
In all things, and I love that. And before I wrap it up, I think it's important to know about his role, not just Theo and not just the shirt. How the Cosby Show wrapped up. It wrapped up with him graduating.
Yes.
And I thought that was a beautiful storyline about the idea of, this son, this young man is important. Of all the storylines going around, they wrapped up with his
Theo's
character graduating.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
And I hadn't thought about that in years, but so important. And what a loss this is. We came on the news, we come on the news a lot of times on Channel 2 Extra News, a lot of high energy.
Yeah.
And this morning, Lori and I, we kind of looked at each other and just said, yeah.
It was 54, way too young, drowning on vacation in Costa Rica. And I should mention, Malcolm Jamal Warner spent a lot of time in Atlanta, filmed his TV show here, made many appearances, poetry readings. Like, he was a figure in Metro Atlanta. So there's definitely a big local tie. But I got that yesterday. And he was, I'm an older brother. I've got a younger brother. Yeah. And, Theo Huxtable was my fictional older brother. Like, I could learn from his life, and it helped me which is crazy to think. I never really thought about it until he passed. I was like, wow, the earring episode, the Gordon Gartrell episode, like his dating. Like, I was not a smooth cat in high school.
No, me too. Amazing.
I don't buy that. But I just learned a lot. It was that was a gut punch yesterday. You don't expect to it. Never mind my fascination with Lisa Bonet on that show. And made, like, my parents were stern.
Yeah.
And this wasn't the Brady Bunch. These were, this was the Huxtable mom and dad were stern parents.
They were normal.
Yeah.
Clifton's conversations with Theo, your mother sent me upstairs to kill you. That's how the conversation started. I said, that sounds like my house.
Yeah.
Denise is talking to a boyfriend, and he's talking about books he reads, and Theo says, where can I get that book? And Cliff says, son, you don't read. I said, are they eavesdropping on my life?
Yeah, it was, man, that stinks. Did you ever get a chance to interview?
Never had the chance to.
Either.
But I was just from afar, I was always impressed.
Yeah.
Not only did he have the deep, gravitas voice, when he spoke, he kind of spoke from down here and all that stuff, right? But I just was like, this dude has somehow managed all of this.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. He managed all of it, and that's a great reminder we can manage our lives.
And a very private life, too. We don't know the name of his wife or his kids. Like, he had his bubble, and just so sad. Fred, while you're here, Stuff the Bus coming up this week.
Saturday, we got 8 different locations out there from 10 to 2. You can also go online at WSBTV.com. And, reason why I get loud when I say it, Stuff the Bus! But, it's important because of the fact that to send kids back to school right changes absolutely everything. Once you feel good about that first day and just having the basics, then you can move on. What do you do in the morning? You get up, you make the bed, you brush your teeth, and you go on and you face the challenges of your day. It's the same thing with the supplies that kids need to go back right. And we appreciate you in advance for changing lives out there.
I just remember as a kid when I would get a new backpack for school, the swag I'd walk in. Little second grade Mark Aram. I've got the brand new JCPenney bag. Like, we're providing that for the kids.
Tough Skins, too. You had those as well.
I did have Tough Skin. I will be here at the location.
Great.
Which location?
I'm going to be in Kennesaw.
All right. God bless. God bless. I will be right here.
Hey, brother, real quick, man. It's weird losing our people.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Our generation.
Yeah, it's weird, I had to sit with it for a second.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about Theo, but he was always kind of with us.
Yeah. Subconsciously even sometimes.
Yeah.
I love how it's our generation. Chris Chandler, he was, I was talking to him our age, and he was like, he's like, what about, remember the shirt episode? I'm like, Gordon Gartrell. He's like, oh, yeah, that's it. Like,
by the way, inside knowledge here, Gordon Gartrell was a producer on The Cosby Show.
That's where the name came from?
Yeah, that's where the name came from.
That's hilarious. I saw, Questlove our age as well.
Yeah.
He was hit hard by Malcolm Jamal Warner. I didn't know that he designed a shoe for Nike called the Gordon Gartrell.
Are you serious?
That's how that episode just permeated our entire generation of viewers. It was crazy, the impact it had.
Denise said, "You don't like it?"
Yeah. I'm never going to make a shirt for you again. That's fine. Perfect. Whatever he said. All right, Fred, we'll see you tomorrow morning on Channel 2 Action News. We'll see you this Saturday at Kennesaw Stuff the Bus. All the info online at WSBTV.com. All right, quick break. When we come back, we got some breaking news in the Epstein issue, question, files, etc. We'll go live to D.C. for the latest. But first, got to check that Tuesday morning drive. Live with the latest, here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, watching a crash just moved to the left shoulder in Forest Park. Good news for you if you're traveling 75 northbound as you approach I-285. All lanes back open. Watch out for the flashing lights, though, on the left shoulder approaching 285. And crash moved to the right shoulder near the airport. 285 westbound, the Interloop Riverdale Road, exit 60. Still sluggish, though, as you leave I-75, working your way through the airport tunnels. The support is brought to you by Peach Pass and the new Peach Pass Go mobile app. The Peach Pass Go mobile app helps you get there faster with new and improved features, and more coming soon. Download the new Peach Pass Go mobile app today at peachpass.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Is your summer vacation going to be a week at the beach?
Oh, yeah!
That week at the beach could be yours if you win $1,000 on $1,000 Thursdays.
That's awesome.
It's $1,000 Thursdays on WSB.
Your chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Thursdays.
Listen for the
And you
keyword
get the keyword in, and my God.
at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app.
Oh, my word!
Get all the info at WSBRadio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays this Thursday,
From 95.5 WSB.
where Atlanta wins.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent, fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
$95. Dad, the salesman said this will last a lifetime. And just think, if I live to be 90, that's about $1 a year.
Bill Cosby, Malcolm Jamal Warner, famous episode of The Cosby Show. We've actually heard, Deborah, from Bill Cosby on the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. CBS interviewed him. I'm going to play you that a little bit later. But I do want to go straight to the White House. Some breaking news in the Epstein file saga. Apparently, the Justice Department just released a statement. Let's go to Elena Train outside the White House.
I think it's still to be seen what exactly this could yield, Kate. But I think what is clear is that they are recognizing that this position that they have really stuck to over the last couple of weeks, this idea of trying to change the subject, to try to get the president's supporters and the broader American public to move on from it, isn't working. And so this is just the latest turn showing that, okay, they recognize they need to put out more information. I want to read for you just more of that statement that we got this morning from the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche. He said, at the direction of Attorney General Bondi, this is a quote, "I've communicated with counsel for Ms. Maxwell to determine whether she would be willing to speak with prosecutors from the department. I anticipate meeting with Ms. Maxwell in the coming days." And then, Kate, we also got a statement from Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, David Oscar Marcus. This is what he told CNN. He said, quote, "I can confirm that we are in discussions with the government and that Ghislaine will always testify truthfully. We are grateful to President Trump for his commitment to uncovering the truth in this case." So again, of course, a couple key questions now about all of this. One is, what exactly are they going to glean from this? Will Maxwell be truthful? Does she have ulterior motives? Of course, you mentioned she's in prison now for serving a 20-year sentence. You know, they have to determine what she says, whether it's credible and whether they can release it to the public. I'd remind you, the president has now repeatedly said that he's giving the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, it's up to her to decide if there's credible information to release. She can choose to do so. But all of this, again, is another question, really, is if this will be enough for the people who have been pushing for this administration to release the Epstein files. That has really been what people have been asking for. You mentioned those Republican members in Congress who are pushing this effort to force a floor vote to have them release these Epstein files. We heard from many conservative Republicans, Trump allies, I should say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Senator Josh Hawley, saying that they are getting calls, Kate, from their constituents about this, pressing this White House and this administration to be more transparent on the Epstein case. So what I think is very clear from what the Attorney General and the DOJ more broadly is doing here is they recognize that their position thus far of trying to get everyone to move on from this, from releasing that memo over 2 weeks ago now saying that Epstein died by suicide, that there was no so-called client list. They recognize that that is not enough, that enough people are now saying we need more in this. This story and this desire to get more information is not going away. So now it's really up to seeing what will Maxwell say, what would this meeting with her glean, and whether or not that will be enough for the people who are, again, calling for far more transparency than this Trump administration has so far been willing to give.
Again, the breaking news, the Justice Department says it plans to reach out to Ghislaine Maxwell for a meeting after the further calls for the Epstein file. So that's an interesting develop. Another interesting develop was Speaker Mike Johnson said, hey, we're recessing before anyone has to vote on these Epstein files, which was kind of out of left field considering what he said last week. When we come back after news, weather, and traffic, we'll get the latest on that angle. What happened on the House floor yesterday regarding the Epstein files? A lot of moving parts on this story. We'll get you caught up to date next on The Mark Arum Show.
I found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolf Pen Auto Repair.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's best choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's best choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Change, it's always happening, folks. It's a part of life. When it comes to music, change is all around us. Think about the songs you listened to as a kid and what you listen to now and what your kids or grandkids listen to. But no matter how many things change in 5 years, there's one thing that will stay the same. It's the price of your internet. It's Mark Arum back from my pals at Xfinity, and Xfinity now introducing a 5-year price guarantee. 5-year price guarantee. It means you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Are you surprised? Well, don't be. Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024. Xfinity.com/deals.
It's officially time for Zerorez's annual summer sale. Take advantage and get 15% off all cleaning services. Mention Chris Chandler to secure this deal today or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez. All they leave is clean.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. Good morning to you. I'm Cheryl Castro. News brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, 3 juveniles are now in custody accused in a shooting that leaves another juvenile boy in critical condition. Cobb County Police find the victim shot in the head Monday afternoon at an apartment complex on Paget Drive in Austell. The motive behind the shooting is unclear at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call Cobb County Police. Well, the White House releases over 200,000 documents on the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., all over the objections from the King family.
Bernice and Martin Luther King III urge empathy and a lens of historical context, saying these records are from a predatory FBI surveillance campaign seeking to gut the civil rights movement. Sam Pollard directs the MLK FBI documentary, which lays it bare.
So here's J. Edgar Hoover, and he sees this man who has this power and impact and can galvanize people to want to rise up. That had to be frightening. So his agenda was, I got to figure out how to discredit and destroy Dr. King's reputation.
The Kings say they support transparency, but not attacks on their father's legacy. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
A police chase ends with the suspect's car crashing into a home in Brookhaven. The driver is in custody, but police are still looking for 2 others who ran from the scene. The trio is spotted stealing items from storage units at an apartment building on nearby Blair Circle. They take off, leading officers on a short chase. It ends with the crash into a house at the intersection of Reading Road and Reading Way. No injuries delays are reported. Well, new census numbers show slower growth for Metro Atlanta's population.
There was a very slight decline. That means more people moved out of the region than moved in.
The Wall Street Journal's Cameron McWhirter says housing prices may be to blame. Their analysis finds a lot of Metro residents seeking cheaper places to live in the South.
Chattanooga's nearby. Knoxville's starting to take off. We all know about Asheville. Of course, it had its problems with the flooding, but it had been growing dramatically.
He says Metro planners may have to accept that Atlanta's not the boomtown it once was when planning for roads and revenue in the future. Cobb County commissioners will hold their final public hearing and vote tonight on a proposed $1.3 billion budget. The plan keeps property taxes flat, includes employee raises at 2 to 5%, and adds $18 million to the general fund. The commissioners credit stronger than expected property tax growth and lower health care costs for erasing a projected $7 million deficit. There's word Target is ending its popular price matching policy.
This weekend at Target,
Target says as of next week, it will no longer match prices from top competitors Walmart and Amazon. The policy, in effect for more than a decade, allowed shoppers to request price matches from those two retailers for up to 14 days after making a purchase at Target.
Steve Kathan reports Target says it will continue to match prices internally between different Target locations and its online store. It's 9:33, time to check traffic and weather. Mike Shields now live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
I got flashing lights on the right shoulder. Cheryl, 75-85 northbound right at I-20 in downtown. Watch out for that. The brake lights continue, though, as you pass I-20, making your way through the graded curve. 85 south still filled in, leaving Brookhaven. 400 south slow out of Buckhead. And the brake lights continue as you make your way down to 17th Street. Also crash off to the left, 75 northbound Forest Parkway. Just to tap the brakes now as you approach I-285. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds and trending hotter today. High 95, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, and cooling down to a high of 86. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible tomorrow afternoon.
And right now, partly cloudy, 80 degrees in Woodstock, Swanee cloudy and 80, Decatur 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. We'll have more news for you coming up at 10 o'clock with breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
It's the 25th annual WSB Carathon this Thursday and Friday.
All of us at WSB team up to benefit the kids at the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's.
Won't you please help?
Donate online today at WSBradio.com/Carathon.
Thank you for your support of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Following breaking news, the Justice Department says it plans to reach out to Ghislaine Maxwell regarding the Epstein files. We'll go back to D.C. for the latest in 2 minutes on The Mark Arum Show.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
This upcoming health tip is brought to you by Kroger Pharmacy. During allergy season, your clothing and hair could be covered with pollen. So when you get home, it's not a bad idea to change your clothes and toss them in the laundry. You could also take a shower to rinse off any allergen left on your skin or in your hair. Your neighborhood Kroger Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts, Medicare D, and TRICARE Department of Defense Plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at Kroger.com/pay or update. See your Kroger Pharmacy for details. Home improvement projects can be a stressful guessing game. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus, the highest level of communication. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We'll make you comfortable and keep you informed with every step of your project.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus, siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
9:36 on the Mark Arum Show with you till noon. Coming up in 15 minutes or so, going to talk to actor Henry Golding. He was the star of Crazy Rich Asians. He was in The Gentleman. He's got a new movie coming out. Very excited to talk to him. Scott Slade live at 10:35, 11:05. I've been talking about this story for a while, Deborah, on the increased need for electricity going forward here in the U.S. with AI and all these data centers. Noreen Malik from Bloomberg News covers the energy sector. A dire warning about the nation's energy grid because of so much pressure we're putting on it. Very interesting story. We're going to check in with Noreen after the news at 11. In the meantime, we're going to continue our team coverage of the breaking news. The Justice Department wants to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine? Deborah, I'm so sorry. What is it?
It's Ghislaine.
Ghislaine. I got to write that
Ghislaine.
down phonetically. Miss Maxwell. I'm just going to call her Miss Maxwell. They want to talk to her. Joining us from ABC News in the nation's capital, Stephen Portnoy. Before we get to that breaking news, Stephen, yesterday Speaker Mike Johnson said we are not going to have any votes for anything because they didn't want to take any votes on the floor of the House regarding the Epstein files. What can you tell us what happened last night?
Speaker Mike Johnson told reporters yesterday that his party and the White House are in alignment on the Epstein files, that everybody wants maximum disclosure. And now the president is directing his attorney general to ask the permission of federal courts that grand jury material be unlocked and unsealed, released from the offices of the clerks of the court for the general public to read. And so for that reason, Speaker Johnson says there ought not to be a vote on the House floor to further urge the release of more Epstein files. This morning, the Justice Department is announcing that the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, is going to be heading down to Florida later this week to try to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, the only person other than Epstein who was ever charged in the sex trafficking, who is now in federal prison serving a 20-year sentence. Apparently, the Deputy Attorney General wants to meet with Maxwell to see if she'll share any more information about the case and about others who may have been involved. The Justice Department says that no federal prosecutor ever bothered to ask, which is an interesting concept.
Indeed.
Hard to believe, frankly, that federal prosecutors would not want to know or not seek information about who else was involved, but that's the claim. And so the Deputy Attorney General says he's going to try to sit and meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, who, again, has already been convicted and is serving a sentence. What's her incentive? To provide any information at all? She doesn't have to. Well, who has the power to change her circumstance? Who has the power of pardon and clemency? The President of the United States.
Can that pardon power also be used if Maxwell says nothing? As in, hey, keep your mouth closed and you will get a full pardon.
Well, I don't know. I mean, these are questions that I guess the public needs to start thinking about. You have the Deputy Attorney General, the second most important official in the Justice Department, now reaching down by himself, again, the former personal attorney for the president, to go down to a prison to meet with a convict to see if she might share information with him about, and by the way, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted because, among other things, she recruited girls for the sex trafficking ring. Where? At Mar-a-Lago.
Interesting. Stephen Portnoy from ABC joining us on the Mark Arum Show. So that is obviously a big development there. But whatever Maxwell knows or doesn't know is separate from all of the volumes and videotapes, evidence that the Justice Department and the FBI already should have. So those are two separate tunnels of possibility in getting new information released to the public. But now that the House is gone for recess, when might we see another call? Are we looking at September now?
Well, look, I think you have a number of congressional Republicans, conservatives, who want more information. They're disappointed by the way the Justice Department and the FBI and the White House have handled this. And because for years, they were the ones saying that the government was sitting on information and you got to get it out. It's time for the public to know who was part of this grand conspiracy. It couldn't just be Maxwell and Epstein. There have to be more people. Who's on the client list and who was taking the flights down and who else was involved in this. And earlier this month, the Justice Department put out that memo that said, oh, nothing else to see here and there won't be anything else because we've looked into it and there's nothing else to see. So you have these calls for some sort of vote in the House of Representatives to either urge or compel the release of this material. Last night in the House Rules Committee, Democrats tried to force amendments that would put Republicans on the record about this. Rather than taking those votes, Republicans recessed the committee. And if you recess the House Rules Committee without adopting a rule, proposing it for the House floor, there can't be any substantive action on the House floor. So that's going to be the way things are in the House of Representatives for the rest of this week before the recess. They're basically just going to pack up and say, never mind, and go home without doing any more substantive work on bills because Democrats see a political advantage and they know that Republicans don't now want to be put on the record about this because it puts them in an uncomfortable place. It puts them in opposition, essentially, to the president and his most senior advisors. And they say, well, the president has this well in hand. He's now directed his attorney general to seek the permission of the courts to have this material released. But what everyone has to understand, Mark, is just how extraordinarily rare it would be for a federal judge to say, okay, the president really wants it this time, so we'll look past centuries of American jurisprudence in the way our system of justice works. And yes, in this one instance, because the public is just so curious, we'll release the Epstein grand jury testimony. There's a reason there are a number of reasons grand jury testimony is secret, but among them is the idea that grand juries investigate crimes that aren't necessarily prosecuted or things that aren't necessarily crimes. Mm-hmm. And it's all meant to stay secret because people's reputations and lives, careers can be ruined if that material were to get out. People who testified before grand juries can be subject to retaliation. And so for all of those reasons and more, grand jury evidence is meant to remain under seal for all time and only under the most extraordinary circumstances, typically when it involves some great historical matter of significance. Decades later, will the courts even entertain the idea of releasing grand jury material? Now, look, Jeffrey Epstein's been dead for 6 years. Ghislaine Maxwell's been in prison for a couple of years, and she's set to serve a 20-year sentence. But there's the suggestion that there may be more information out there. Well, information about who else? Well, if those people are potentially have been mentioned in grand jury testimony but haven't been charged, that gets right to the reason for secrecy. Because if prosecutors had gathered information behind closed doors but didn't pursue the case, they must have had a reason to. Well, you'd imagine they had a reason to. But either way, that kind of testimony judge wouldn't want that to see the light of day because people would be named and without any necessary without any basis per se. So I think it's highly unlikely. Most legal experts we've spoken with say it's highly unlikely that the courts will release this material, and that's why they say it's a bit of a distraction. So let's see how it plays out.
So many moving parts to this story. New information this morning from ABC's Steve Portnoy. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time, my friend.
You bet.
All right, I forgot about the Wall Street Journal lawsuit. There's so much going on here. Again, the breaking news, if you're just joining us, the Justice Department, the dude under Pam Bondi wants to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. She's in custody in prison right now, awaiting a Supreme Court hearing to see if she has any further information on Jeffrey Epstein. Relatedly, a CBS News poll finds a majority of Americans want all files related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation released Monday. White House press secretary is asked why the president doesn't order the Justice Department and FBI to release all of them. Meanwhile, President Trump's filed a lawsuit over the Wall Street Journal report about him and Epstein. CBS News senior White House political correspondent Ed O'Keefe has more.
He filed suit against the Wall Street Journal for a story that broke late last week regarding an alleged drawing that he made for Jeffrey Epstein as part of an album of letters that were given to him at the turn of the 21st century. The president disputing that was real and filed suit pretty quickly thereafter. The Wall Street Journal vowing to fight that suit. Word also came that the Wall Street Journal will not be part of the traveling press corps when the president heads to Scotland later this week.
Yeah, the White House press corps, they basically booted the Wall Street Journal. They were supposed to have a reporter head overseas with the president, and they got booted. off of that trip. So obviously still a lot more questions than answers, but some breaking news this morning related to the Epstein files. All right, quick break. When we come back, very excited. Actor Henry Golding is going to join us live. Crazy Rich Asians. He was also in The Gentleman with Matthew McConaughey, a fantastic movie. And he's got a new movie out, so we're going to talk to him and update our top local stories. But first, checking that Tuesday morning drive around town, the incomparable Mike Shields.
Yeah, Mark, sorry. We're right now watching a crash off to the left, 75 northbound as you approach Forest Parkway. All lanes are open, but flashing lights causing some brake lights as you approach 285. Making your way through downtown, 75-85 north and southbound, still sluggish between University Avenue and 17th Street, but no crashes reported. The support is brought to you by Sam's Club. There's still time to enjoy a locked-in summer value at Sam's Club till July 22nd. Prices are held over 1,000 items. Join now and make the most of summer, so sign up at membership at samsclub.com/join. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
First impressions matter, especially in the summer. Wise Guys Pro Wash will make sure your home makes the right impression. Soft wash, safe results, and zero hassle. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your home, driveway, deck, or roof wash. Book at wiseguysprowash.com.
You've thought about assisted living for your parents, but maybe the right answer is renovating your home and having mom or dad move in. I'm Richard, Chief Architect at Sketch House, where we create custom architectural drawings for homeowners looking to remodel. Why get drawings first? You'll know what's possible. You'll be able to get pricing and compare builders apples to apples, and builders love drawings. You'll get bumped to the top of their list with drawings in hand. Let Sketch House help you make a decision about your aging parents at a fixed price. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, HAUS.com.
Here at Massey, we've seen the damage termites can cause. That's why we've been protecting homes from termite damage for almost 100 years. Our termite protection program, featuring Always Active Centricon system, doesn't just protect your home from termites, it gives you peace of mind. That's why our termite protection guarantee covers your home and everything in it. Schedule your free inspection today at masseyservices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Summer is awesome, but have you been staying cool? Ashley Frasca for Ragsdale, the heating and air company I've trusted in my home for years. My friends at Ragsdale care about your family's comfort. Go online to ragsdaleair.com to make an appointment now. Take advantage of a savings of up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system. Plus, Ragsdale is your family's go-to for dependable plumbing and electrical services, too. Schedule at ragsdaleair.com or give them a call. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Men's Choice Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Katz with Choice Men's Health. Regardless of your age or medical condition, Choice Men's Health can safely restore your potency. Our customized solutions can eliminate your problem in just one visit. There's no pain, no surgery, and it's affordable.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health. The only choice for your health.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so Yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Wise men say.
For the handful of you listening to the show right now, and we're at my wedding, you might recognize this song. This is what Maya walked down to the aisle to. Why this song? It's from Crazy Rich Asians, my wife's favorite song. She calls it the Black Panther of the Asian community. Joining us live from Crazy Rich Asians, Nick Young, a.k.a. Henry Golding. Henry, good morning. I am honored you're on the show.
Good morning. What's going on?
You don't understand.
Awesome. That's an awesome memory to have.
Oh, my. I mean, first of all, you don't understand you probably do understand the impact that Crazy Rich Asians has had on the Asian community worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, we were very lucky to sort of have this unwavering support from a community that, you know, is kind of, it was lesser seen in a spot like that. So when this film came out, it really put a pedestal for people to kind of be heard. And the Asian community was definitely one of them.
It's and I apologize when my wife got to the altar. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not Nick Young, but I don't have a family fortune to hand off to you. But I'm just such a fan of the movie, such a fan of yours. And I just saw the trailer for the new movie you got coming out, Daniela Forever. Yeah. Wow, man, this is crazy. Yeah. I can't wait to see this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's a special one. This one really sort of blends genres of kind of sci-fi and this element of romance and comedy. Fantastic director by the name of Nacho Vigalondo. But it follows my character, Nicholas, as he navigates the trauma of losing his girlfriend, who passes away. And he's 6 months post, and he enters into this sort of experimental treatment of lucid dreaming. And he realizes that within his dreams he can recreate worlds, and a world that his girlfriend comes back to life. So he tends to sort of steer towards more wanting to live in the dream world rather than the reality. And of course that has its pitfalls.
Again, I haven't seen the movie. I just saw the trailer, but it reminds me of, you know, what was that Leonardo DiCaprio movie that had to deal with dreams? Inception. So we've got that. I just, some of my favorite movies involve dreams, and so I love the premise of this, that you get into this lucid dream world to reconnect with your love interest. I love the setup to this.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's so imaginative. Nacho wrote it a couple of years back, but with his own sort of experiences in mind. So he's the writer and director, but it's just such a unique take on something that we all have to kind of go through, which is grief at some point.
Could this movie have been made 15, 20 years ago? Because obviously in the dreamscape, you know, you see some crazy stuff in your dreams. I would imagine the advancement of technology and computers made that movie a reality, because you can actually do those things now.
Yeah, well, you know, interestingly, we actually shot a big portion of the movie on Betacams. So we mixed media with the reality of his world and the dream world. So all the reality sequences we shot on Beta, so it has this washed out, gritty, kind of doldrum life, which is kind of it's a showcase of what Nicholas is kind of going through in his world right now. But then when we get into the dream world, it's this beautiful 4K vibrant image, just to sort of bring the audience really into the storytelling. And of course, it starts going a little awry, and he doesn't realize kind of what reality he's in at one point.
Daniela Forever in theaters now. Henry Golding joining us on the Mark Aram Show. Real quick, if you don't mind, loved your character Dry Eye in The Gentleman. What did you think of a great movie, and then they made it into a TV show? What did you think of the show version of The Gentleman?
You know, I haven't watched it as of yet, but I heard there's tremendous, like, they've done a second season. I'm sure they'll do a third. But I think Guy Ritchie is like the busiest man in Hollywood at the moment. He's got so many series. He has Mobland. He has so many movies coming out. He doesn't stop. The guy has a very specific sort of feel about his the stuff that he makes. So I'm a massive Guy fan. So the more the merrier.
Not many people can say they've been killed on camera by Lady Mary from Downton Abbey, which is also a very cool part of that. Final question, because my wife will be so mad if I don't ask you this. Crazy Rich Asians 2, a sequel, a series. What do we have coming down the pipe? Any news there?
Yeah, you know, they're still trying to put it all together. Like, obviously, we'd love to get the crew back together, but it's got to take a lot of yeses, a lot of planning. Everybody has to be in one place in the world to be able to finish it. So we'll see. I mean, they're trying to aim for next year at some point to get started. So hopefully.
Can't wait. I love it. Love the original. And I know I'm going to love Daniela Forever in theaters now. Henry Golding, thank you so much for your time, my friend. Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you take care.
There you go. My wife extremely jealous right now. Deborah, Maya, absolutely beyond words that I just had Henry Golding. If she was in studio, Maya would have taken off from work. Like that movie, I've seen it 50 times now. Maya must have seen it 100 times, but the impact it's had in the Asian community, like
it's a good movie.
Yeah, there's never really been a movie like that. So very cool. And I saw you can go to YouTube and watch the trailer for Daniela Forever. It looks really, really cool. Exciting stuff there. Henry Golding, live on the Mark Aram Show. All right, still to come, we got some major movement, maybe, in the Georgia Senate race. We're going to talk to Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Scott Slade joins us live at 10:35. When we come back, though, got some big local stories we want to dive deep into. Social media is active at Mark Aram and at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's not going away, that spot you're trying to ignore on the ceiling, and it's only going to get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show for my experts at Findlay Roofing. The roof guys. Your roof is long overdue to be replaced, and now Findlay has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get a new roof. Get started today with a Findlay Roofing free roof analysis, then take advantage of the 0% financing available. FindlayRoofing.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
News.
Weather.
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And you're going to need that cooling today. You thought it was hot yesterday, even hotter this afternoon. We're headed for a high of 95, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. And we're not alone. Some 70 million people under heat alerts across the middle of the country through Thursday. It's going to feel like 110 degrees in places from Kansas City northeast to Milwaukee and south to upper Gulf Coast, including New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, and Tallahassee, Florida. Dr. Dale Kreiners, Chief Medical Officer with Methodist Medical Center in Memphis, Tennessee.
If you are out, you're starting to feel a little flush, you're sweating, your heart rate's up a little bit, you may be feeling a little faint, that's more heat exhaustion, and that's really your body warning you that you've got to get out of that heat.
Now, midweek temperatures across the middle of the country will be 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Again, hot here today, headed for a high of 95. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards coming up in just over 2 minutes. We do have an update on a shooting in Cobb County that we told you about yesterday afternoon, where a young boy was injured along Paget Drive near Austell. Cobb County Police telling us this morning that they have now arrested 3 juveniles in connection with this shooting. The investigation is ongoing. We'll bring you more as we get it. Now to Roswell, where the city is joining Alpharetta by installing technology to speed up emergency response times there.
Every traffic signal in Roswell will soon be outfitted with technology from Alpharetta-based Applied Information.
This system gives emergency vehicles like fire trucks a green light while bringing cross traffic at the intersection safely to a halt.
That explainer video on Roswell social media outlines the way crews use wireless technology to trigger a signal as they approach an intersection. It reduces the risk of crashes to make these instances safer for everyone, and most importantly, speeds up response times when every second counts in an emergency. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Now to Cobb County, where commissioners there will be holding their final public hearing and vote tonight on a proposed $1.3 billion budget. The plan keeps property taxes flat, includes employee raises of 2 to 5%, and adds $18 million to the general fund. The vote comes after commissioners managed to erase a projected $7 million deficit. They credit stronger than expected property tax growth and lower health care costs. Target is doing away with its price match policy starting Monday. The retailer will no longer price match for places like Amazon and Walmart. Instead, if prices are lower at Target.com than they are in the store, then you'll get the lower price. Target has been struggling with weak sales at its nearly 2,000 stores here in the United States. And Trader Joe's is planning to open 30 new stores. According to a posting on its website today, the new locations will span 17 states, including Georgia. There will be a new location set to open in Peachtree City at 258 City Circle. The grocery store expected to open sometime later this year. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow right now is up 84 at 44,407. NASDAQ is in the red, down almost a full percent, and the S&P is also in negative territory. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Here's Smiling Mark McKay.
Morning, Sabrina. We're battling slowing in Sandy Springs and will until that right lane reopens. They're doing road work through Thursday on that north side perimeter, 285 westbound near Roswell Road, Riverside Drive, exit 24. Keeping things slow back toward Georgia 400. A lot of folks may have taken their way into Buckhead and Brookhaven because 400 southbound is slow, leaving Lenox Road. 85 delays at Claremont Road, exit 91. Take them down to 17th Street. Get by that. The connector's in good shape to the airport. A little slow on the northbound side of 75-85, leaving I-20 up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. Smiling Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy and hot today, high 95. That's trending about 5 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Tomorrow's high is 86.
81 degrees right now in Roswell. It's 82 in Beaufort and Riverdale. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show on a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Whole fam with us today. Deborah is the executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, Scott Slade's going to join us live. Greg Bluestein's set to join us in the 11 o'clock hour. some movement in the Georgia race for the Senate seat on the Republican side. We'll talk to political reporter Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. In the meantime, we continue our team coverage of the tragic passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner at the age of 54, drowned while on vacation on Costa Rica. At the beginning of the show, we had our buddy from Channel 2, Fred Blankenship, on talking about, he and I grew up with Theo Huxtable kind of being like our older brother. We actually have heard now from Bill Cosby, who played his television dad on the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. This courtesy of CBS News.
He was never afraid to go to his room and study and make sure he followed whatever he had learned in the acting school.
I can't remember the last time I heard Bill Cosby's voice since all of his legal troubles, but he has commented on the passing of his television son, Malcolm Jamal Warner. And it wasn't just a drowning. Apparently, he was caught in a riptide in Costa Rica, which can be very, very dangerous, very scary. Joining us live on the show, spokesperson for the American Lifeguard Association, Wyatt Wernerth. Wyatt, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Hey, you did a good job. Thank you.
All right. Wyatt, thanks for jumping on this breaking news. First off, just a horrible tragedy yesterday. Malcolm Jamal Warner, television legend, on vacation in Costa Rica, and he dies. He drowns, and it was, apparently was pulled up by a riptide. For those of us that have very little ocean knowledge, what exactly is a riptide?
Well, this is definitely a tragic situation, and I hope we take note of this, that lifeguards are very critical and very helpful in recreational environments. So this is awful because where he was at didn't have adequate lifeguard protection. Your chance of drowning in front of a lifeguard are 1 in 18 million. Signs are not enough. There's all kinds of signs that are around about rip currents. We talk about it all the time, but we need a little bit more.
More lifeguards. Would you caution folks not to swim at beaches without lifeguards then?
Well, absolutely. That's what this whole thing's about. Being a lifeguard in that area. I know it's another country, and they don't meet the expectations that we have for public safety. But it's important to know before you go. If you are going to visit someplace, go on the internet, do some homework, find out what kind of safety they have available. And if they don't, it's kind of like going offshore deep sea fishing and stuff like that. You need to prepare. If you're not a strong swimmer, you need to take a Coast Guard approved life jacket. If you have little ones that are around, you need to assign water watchers. There's a lot of things that we can do. And I think when it all comes back to it, though, it really comes down to having recreational areas across the world that don't supply lifeguards. And that's kind of what happened here, I believe.
Wyatt Wernerth, spokesperson for the American Lifeguard Association, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. I grew up in New England, going to the beach all the time. I was taught at an early age on what to do if you get caught in a riptide. I don't want, in case I was taught fake news when I was a child on what to do. Can you tell the folks that if, God forbid, they are ever stuck in a riptide or caught up in a riptide, what they can do to get out of it?
Well, that's a great question. It's not that easy to identify rip currents unless you're well trained. But one thing I like to tell people, if you go to an environment, kind of survey it. When in doubt, don't go out. But one thing where you ever been on the beach and all your stuff got wet and the people on either side of you are not, you're in the rip channel. The channel's a deep area of the water that doesn't pull you under like you were taught when we were kids. It just pulls you away from shore. And generally, if you swim parallel, left or right, you can get out of it. But the most important thing is not to panic. If you panic, you're just going to lose your wits about you. So just kind of float out. And they don't always go left or right is the best way to get back. It's just float, maybe wait for some help. And another thing that we're trying to get people to recognize is always have flotation available. In our areas around Florida, we have a Ground Zero project. They're installing life preservers or rings on the beach just like you would have on a boat or you would have at a pool. So there's always someone on the beach that could grab that and help you. So there's a lot of things that we're trying to do to make it even safer for people to go to the beach, even if there aren't a lifeguard around.
Yeah, I'm glad I was. That's exactly what I was taught, to swim parallel to the beach, east and west, if you will. Instead of trying, your natural instinct is like, let me swim directly to the shore, like straight on. But you should go parallel to get out of that rip current. Wyatt, great insight. Thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Well, thanks for having us, guys, and getting the word out there. And again, hopefully this is a turning point. We can use this to focus more on lifeguards and public safety.
All
Always
right.
swim near a lifeguard.
Exactly. Lifeguards are essential. Wyatt Warneth from the American Lifeguard Association. Obviously, he's got some angry hens in the background. Needs to go get those.
Sound like a rooster.
Needs to get those eggs. All right, so that's what I was taught. But Deborah, you grew up in Wisconsin. I mean, there were lakes, but no oceans. The rip tides weren't a thing in any of the lakes, right?
No, not in the lakes, but we did spend a lot of summers at the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of America, whatever you want to call it, because
Yes.
we visited our family in South Padre Island. So we
Okay.
went out there a lot. And my cousins would always say, this is what you look out for. But then I just get scared and come backwards to the shore.
It's again going back to Malcolm Jamal. It's so sad that is it sad? Like anytime a celebrity dies, and especially a younger celebrity, right? Someone it's not 80. It's not like, oh, George Burns passed away at 103. Like someone Malcolm you immediately think like the worst. Like, oh, was he into drugs? Was it drunk? We're just. And so I guess I was kind of relieved, not that he died. It's horrible that he died, but he was on vacation. There was nothing salacious about his death. It was just a tragic accident, right? I don't know. Is that weird for me to say that?
Kind of.
All right.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally get what you're saying. I think to me, it's much like you. I'm closer to Rudy's age, so I looked at Malcolm Jamal Warner the same way. He was a big brother, and I love that show. It just brings some mortality to yourself because you identified so much to them.
I was relieved as I was just like I'm glad it wasn't a death where you go, oh, what was he thinking?
Like he tarnished his name or
Yeah,
something like that. Where it was,
he had such a great career and reputation that, I mean, he died on vacation, like tragic, horrible. But I don't know. I felt a sigh of relief, like, oh, it wasn't anything nefarious, like nothing, he wasn't. And I'm going to stop talking before I dig myself a deeper hole. But anyway, I got some more audio. This is courtesy of Peachtree TV, and our buddy Monica Kaufman-Pearson interviewed him not too long ago. He was in Atlanta a lot, was Malcolm Jamal Warner, talking about his name, his unique name, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
When I was 15, I was like, Malcolm Jamal, Malcolm X Ahmad Jamal. I called my father up. I said, man, you set me up. And he laughed. He said, you're damn right. You cannot be named after Malcolm X and Ahmad Jamal. And that'd be great. It wasn't so much pressure. I don't know, I guess it felt like I'm trying to find the words.
You came into yourself.
Thank you. That's where I was looking. Yeah. Yeah.
But in that interview, I don't have the audio of it, but Malcolm Jamal Warner talks about he went into, I think it was fifth grade. And he had a book. It was a book of poetry about the death of Malcolm X. And the title of the book, Deborah, was like Poems to Malcolm X. And his classmates were like, "Who wrote a book about poems for you?" And he was like, because in fifth grade, the education system didn't teach about Malcolm X. Only Dr. King, and that opened his eyes because his father, as Fred Blankenship mentioned, made him do book reports on leading African American figures throughout history. So Malcolm X was something that Malcolm Jamal Warner already knew about, but his classmates didn't. That opened his eyes. Very interesting relationship with his dad and his mom. This is Malcolm.
His mother, Pamela, served as his manager and kept things real for a reason.
When Cosby first hit, it was this phenomenon out the box. I was 14. My mother sat me down and said, listen, baby, it's great that this show is the phenomenon that it is, but you know how this business is. This show could be over next year. What are you going to do when the show's over? And then we had a whole conversation about longevity. And she said, if you want longevity in this business, look at anyone who's had longevity. They've had periods where they've been hot and periods where they've been not. You have to figure out what you're going to do during those periods when you're not hot So you're not running around making desperate career choices. She told me that at 14.
Wow. The amazing Monica Kaufman-Pearson interviewing the amazing Malcolm Jamal Warner on Peachtree TV. I appreciate their permission for letting us play that on the show. Again, rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Died, drowned because of riptide while on vacation in Costa Rica. I went to Costa Rica with Maya a few years ago with her family. And the beaches there are really cool, but I don't remember a single lifeguard being on those beaches. That's just anecdotal, but anyway. Deborah, a local story that caught my attention that you sent me today. It involves a speeding ice cream truck. That is not something. That's not a vehicle I would expect to get pulled over for speeding.
Well, I mean, it's hot, right? Kids need the ice cream. This was actually in Tell City, Indiana, and police pulled over this speeding ice cream truck. And so initially they just stopped the truck for speeding, but once they stopped it, they realized, there's something up with this driver. They inspected the truck, found meth, prescription drugs, paraphernalia, a bunch of other controlled substances inside the ice cream truck, and the driver himself was impaired. He was charged with possession and operating while intoxicated. I don't know what happened to the ice cream, though.
Was he selling that stuff out of?
It doesn't say any of that. It just says that she was stopped.
It was a she.
Yeah, it was a she. She was stopped for speeding, and then they realized she was clearly not okay to drive, and then they did the inspection. So I hope the ice cream didn't go to waste.
Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams.
That's what I thought of. It's exactly the same thing.
That's crazy. I personally have experience with a speeding ice cream truck. Where I grew up in Connecticut, rural area, I wasn't in a cul-de-sac or neighborhood. I was just on this rural road. And the ice cream guy he didn't stop on our road. He was probably going to the Lake Ridge, which is the rich condominium place. On the pond, on the lake, and then would go to another neighbor. And at 5:30, 6 p.m. in the summer, he would go by, and the speed limit on my street was 25 miles an hour. And dude would race at 60 miles an hour, probably trying to get home for dinner. And I remember standing out there in my front yard on the street, waving the ice cream guy down as he's going 60 past me. And once in a while, he would stop and be like, "Oh, this husky kid needs a."
You'd think he'd stop every time.
You'd think he'd stop. Yeah.
The husky kid's gonna eat every day.
But what is he gonna make, a buck off my huskiness?
You bring all the other huskies in the neighborhood.
That's what I needed to do. Gather everyone. Yeah. Anyway, he'd stop and he'd be so annoyed. Just that he's but he once in a while he'd throw me a bone, and I'd be like, "Can I have the almond joy or whatever? The toasted almond." But he'd be so mad because obviously he was going home to his family and dinner. But I don't know what else he was selling though. Maybe I should have asked for. You got any Molly? That wasn't a thing back then. You got any wax? What is that, wax? Anyway, all right. We're gonna come back updating our top local stories in just a second. First, though, we hope, we pray that traffic is not our top local story. Live with the latest, smiling Mark McKay.
Not doing so great in Sandy Springs, Mark. The right lane construction, which will continue a couple of more days on 285 westbound near Roswell Road, Riverside Drive. Take away a right lane there at exit 24, and you will get backups into Dunwoody. We've gotten the word out, so a lot of folks may be taking I-85 or 400 southbound to avoid that north side perimeter. So that's put a little extra pressure on the ride out of Brookhaven. 85 southbound slowing south of Claremont Road. 400 below Sidney Marcus Boulevard for the merge, and that I-85 slowing continues to 17th Street, Atlantic Station. This report sponsored by Sam's Club. There's still time to enjoy locked-in summer value at Sam's Club. Till July 22nd, prices are held on over 1,000 items. Join now and make the most of summer, so sign up for a membership at samsclub.com/join. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
The 25th annual WSB Carathon is right around the corner, and we want to thank our friends at Jim Ellis Automotive Group.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
For their contribution and continued support for the kids at the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's.
Thank you for all your support.
You can donate right now at WSBradio.com/Carathon.
Won't you please donate?
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.
Hey guys, you looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? We'll get Advanced Hair's breakthrough one-day treatment during their once-yearly summer savings event. It's Mark Aaron back with you. Check this out. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. For details and free consultations, call 470-660-HAIR or online at advancedhair.com.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet, as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Now's a great time to save on cherries. Washington red cherries are on sale for $2.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When your termite bond renewal comes in the mail, do you cringe wondering, how much more are they going to charge me now? I want you to switch your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your termite rate is locked in for 10 years. Hey friends, it's Mark Aram. When was the last time you actually saw your current service inspect your home for termite damage? Let me guess, they just walk around outside and check the bait stations. Well, it's the termites inside that could be eating your home. Feel safe with Breda's early detection process using advanced technology. They'll inspect inside and out, giving you total peace of mind that your home is termite-free. Termites, the most destructive bug of all, but Breda is so confident they guarantee your protection, and only Breda will lock in your termite rate for 10 years. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like termites. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, Breda, no Jitterbugs.
Congratulations! Oi! That's the most. Congratulations!
Who are they congratulating? They're congratulating Kate, Duchess of Cambridge. 12 years ago today, she gave birth to Prince George. Londoners were thrilled. He is the eventual King of England, right, Deborah? In the line
he's next in line.
after
William
his
and then
dad.
George. Yeah.
I don't know much about little Prince George, but he turns 12 today. So next year is his bar mitzvah. Make sure remind me to send him a bar mitzvah card. I didn't expect to talk about Hunter Biden today, but Hunter Biden, none too happy with Mr. George Clooney. Clooney, of course, led the revolution to get Hunter's dad off the presidential ballot. What did Hunter Biden have to say about George Clooney, Deborah?
Yeah, I guess now that Hunter Biden is pardoned, he can say kind of whatever he wants. So he was part of this YouTube interview, and it went on for like 3 hours, I guess, but he focused on George Clooney, and it was a lot of not safe for work words, so I'll just kind of give you the Cliff's Notes version here. He's like, George Clooney's not an actor, he's just a brand. Just because he's friends with former President Obama doesn't make him qualified to have an opinion on the Democratic Party. He said that George Clooney made up that whole story about how when he went to greet former President Biden, he didn't recognize him. Yeah, he said that was fake, and he basically just blamed George for throwing his dad under the bus and forcing him to exit the White House. And again, the whole thing's on YouTube. If you want to watch it.
I don't suggest. Yeah. I mean, 3 hours is more valuable to watch Hunter Biden's interview. But one of the things he said, he blamed his dad's bad debate performance here in Atlanta on the fact that his dad took an Ambien. Now, I know Ambien's crazy and give you crazy dreams. You can do it. But if that was true, if Biden was that bad at the debate because he had an Ambien hangover, don't you think we would have heard about that after the debate?
Yeah.
You know, Biden would have come out and be like, oh, I screwed up, man. I took an Ambien. I didn't think it was going to hit me that hard. But now we're hearing it? Nah, I don't buy it. I don't buy the Ambien.
I feel like his team would have said that immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go, Hunter Biden. Did he have his laptop with him? The infamous laptop.
I did not watch the video myself.
Okay, anyway, thank you, Deborah. So Hunter Biden, George Clooney, persona non grata with Hunter Biden. I don't think that'll impact Clooney's life at all. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, Scott Slade joins us live on this fantastic Tuesday. Social medias are active throughout the broadcast at Mark Ehrman at WSB Radio.
Man's best friend. Loyal, trustworthy, dependable. Findlay Roofing is your roof's best friend. Loyal with a lifetime warranty, trustworthy with upfront pricing, and dependable with the highest quality work. FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof, roof. Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Oh, there it goes again. I think old Rusty's had her last ride.
Aw, I think you're right. It's time to let her go.
But what if she could still do some good?
What do you mean?
Well, we can donate it to the Tommy Novus Center.
Really?
They take old cars, running or not, and use the proceeds to help people with disabilities find jobs.
So instead of Rusty just sitting in the driveway, she could help someone who needs a job?
Exactly. And donating is easy. They pick it up for free.
That's a great idea.
Donate your vehicle to Tommy Novus Center and help people with disabilities gain meaningful employment. Visit TommyNovusCenter.org to donate.
A great way to add value to your home is to improve and upgrade your kitchen, but you're worried about the cost because of tariffs raising everybody's costs on things like this. Y'all, it's Eric. You can go to Frugal Kitchens. You'll get that $1 million look for well under that price. And right now, if you book an appointment, you'll get the Frugal Price Lock, where they will lock in pre-tariff pricing. Google Frugal Kitchens today. Lock in pre-tariff pricing on your redesign of your kitchen. Google Frugal Kitchens.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. In Gwinnett County, happening right now, police on the scene of a homicide. This is in a church parking lot off Webb Gin House Road. There's no word on a possible suspect or suspects or motives at this time. We'll bring you more on this developing story as we get it. All right, your weather for today, in a word, hot. We're headed for an afternoon high of 95, and this heat may have an impact on your mental health.
Heat definitely has an impact. It's not just about dehydration.
Atlanta licensed professional counselor Laura Morse says in extreme heat, our minds can suffer as our bodies do.
People may experience mood disorders because they have difficulty going to sleep when they have elevated temperatures, can increase irritability and agitation.
She says that sometimes leads to isolation and depression. Morse says drinking more water, seeking out air conditioning, and practicing stress management techniques can help. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
All right, better emergency response times and improved safety. That is the goal of new technology being installed at Roswell intersections.
In an emergency, every second counts. That's why Roswell is installing cutting-edge traffic preemption technology at all intersections throughout the city.
Roswell releasing an explainer video on social media. Crews and emergency vehicles use wireless technology to trigger a coming signal, clearing the way for them to safely proceed. It speeds up response times by as much as 20%, while also reducing the risk of crashes. The same systems are in use right now in Alpharetta and in Marietta. New census numbers show slower growth for Metro Atlanta's population.
There was a very slight decline. That means more people moved out of the region than moved in.
The Wall Street Journal's Cameron McWhitter says housing prices may be to blame. Their analysis finds a lot of Metro residents seeking cheaper places to live in the South.
Chattanooga's nearby. Knoxville's starting to take off. We all know about Asheville. Of course, it had its problems with the flooding, but it had been growing dramatically.
He says Metro planners may have to accept that Atlanta's not the boom town it once was when planning for roads and revenue come the future. The children of the late Martin Luther King Jr. are speaking out today to criticize the release of more than 240,000 pages of records related to the civil rights leader's assassination.
King's children strongly opposed the release, saying in a statement, "We ask those who engage with the release of these files to do so with empathy, restraint, and respect for our family's continuing grief." Daughter Bernice King later posting, "Now, do the Epstein files." While the White House is touting the release of the King files, they still are not releasing the full files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
And Mary Bruce reports this morning. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard says the documents detail the FBI's investigation into the assassination, discussions of potential leads, and more. Atlanta-based Coca-Cola responding to President Trump's call to use real sugar cane in its U.S. soda beverages as the company releases its second quarter report.
The Atlanta-based beverage maker says it plans to launch a new product this fall made with U.S. sugarcane to expand its Coca-Cola product range. The company says the addition is designed to offer more choices, but Coke stopped short of announcing a switch from high fructose corn syrup to sugarcane for all of its products. Coca-Cola also posts stronger than expected second quarter profits as consumers continue to pay higher prices for the company's soft drinks. It's reporting revenue of more than $12.5 billion for the quarter. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
And while we're talking about sugar, over 100,000 ice cream bars produced by Rich's Ice Cream under recall today because of concerns over potential listeria contamination. The ice cream was sold in about 24 states, including here in Georgia. The impacted products include a long list of flavors like chocolate crunch cake bars, strawberry shortcake, crumbled cookie bars, and more. So far, no illnesses have been reported. If you want more information, you can find it at WSBradio.com. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow right now is up 64 at 44,387. NASDAQ is down more than 0.5%, and the S&P is also in the red. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We turn to Smiley Mark McKay with a look at the roads.
Temporary red alert on the north side perimeter. Sabrina may want to take I-75 out of Marietta and rolling out of Smyrna Vinings and avoid the north side perimeter. Crash being cleared right now. All lanes are being held. 285 eastbound. The inner loop at New North Side Powers Ferry. That's exit 22. Delays almost back to I-75. Again, 75 south to 400 north is an option. May want to go the other way. It's difficult trying to get into Sandy Springs no matter which way you're heading across the north side. Right lane construction has you slow back through Dunwoody. 285 westbound, that work being done past Roswell Road exit 25 has you jammed up back toward the Ashford Dunwoody Perimeter Mall. That's putting a little extra pressure on 400 this morning. All slow out of Buckhead, 400 south, leaving Lennox Road. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. It's a mix of sun and clouds and trending hotter today. High 95, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, and cooling down to a high of 86. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible tomorrow afternoon.
It is 84 degrees in Milton, 83 in Sugar Hill, Midtown Atlanta, 83 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
What would you do with $1,000 this summer?
Hotel, pool, week at the beach, cabin in the woods.
Whatever you want to do this summer.
WSB has $1,000 to make it happen.
Thank you. $1,000 Thursdays gives you the chance to win $1,000 every hour between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
I am so excited. Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBradio.com or on the WSB app. Within that hour,
You could win $1,000.
No way. Is this a joke?
Get all the info at WSBradio.com.
$1,000 Thursdays.
This Thursday from 95.5 WSB, where Atlanta wins.
Still to come, we'll preview the Treasury Secretary's meet with Chinese officials next week. More information on the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. But next, Scott Slade joins us live 2 minutes away on The Mark Arum Show.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and summer's in full swing, and so are the bugs, especially the mosquitoes, ticks, fire ants, and yes, those dreaded roaches. I was at a friend's barbecue the other night, and the bug spray was getting more action than the ketchup. Y'all, that wouldn't happen at my house. I use Arrow exterminators, and my home and yard is protected. Don't let summer barbecue crashers ruin your fun. With Arrow exterminators, you can stop the itching and the biting and take back your yard. Arrow's been family-owned for over 61 years, with team members who use the most effective and environmentally friendly solutions available, and it's all backed by their 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Call Arrow Exterminators today for your free home or business pest inspection at 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. People often ask me why our mattresses last so long. The answer is simple. We build them right. Not only are OMF mattresses durable, they give you peace of mind from day one. When you invest in a mattress from OMF, you're investing in better sleep tonight and smart savings for years to come. No more frequent replacements, no more wasted time shopping. To learn more about the true value of durability, visit originalmattress.com and read our latest blog on getting the most from your mattress investment.
At the Original Mattress Factory, we know that convenience is key. That's why we've made mattress shopping simple and stress-free. Shop in-store or online, whatever works best for you. No high-pressure sales tactics or fake promotions. Our prices are clearly marked, and we openly compare our products to other brands. With our streamlined selection, you won't be overwhelmed by duplicate options, and our 365-day comfort policy provides for peace of mind. Experience the ease of buying factory direct. Visit OMF today for better sleep tonight.
10:38 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy 78th birthday, Don Henley. As a member of the Eagles, he sang lead on such hits as Hotel California. I would imagine, Scott Slade, in your disc jockey days, you probably spun Hotel California once or twice.
Oh, yeah. You know, I played it when it was new.
When it first came out. Scott, good morning, my friend. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, I played Beatles records when they were new, for goodness sake.
Are
Come
you?
on.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Back at the Let It Be anthologies in the late '60s, early '70s. Yeah, I was on the radio.
How crazy was Beatlemania when they came stateside?
It was nuts. I mean, it was just completely nuts, a complete phenomenon. And I'll never forget when the Beatles played Atlanta Fulton County Stadium in 1965. and I would have been 9 or 10 years old,
Yeah.
I guess. And my friends, tickets for $5. Yeah. And my friend said, "Hey, you're going to the show?" And I went, "No, man. There's just going to be a bunch of screaming. You're not going to be able to hear anything."
You had a chance to see the Beatles at Fulton County
Beatles.
Stadium. Was that before? When did the Braves come to town?
That was right.
66?
Yeah, it was right about then.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, it was right around that time. And gosh, I mean, they didn't have sophisticated PA systems back then. As I remember, their guitar amps were on folding chairs, and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, they kind of knew that, hey, nobody's going to be able to hear us. As soon as we hit the first chord of every song, it's just going to be a lot of screaming.
And so 9-year-old Slade, much like 51-year-old Mark Aram, decided to stay home.
Oh, yeah.
There are very few
Curmudgeonly
things that
Scott Slade, yeah.
will get me off the. I am proud to say though, I went to the very last Braves game at Fulton County Stadium and the very first game at Turner Field. So I had a nice bookend there.
Oh man, hey, that is really something.
Yeah, it was great. What's on your mind this morning, Scott? What are we talking about?
Well, this week is a big week for us. For 25 years, we've been doing the WSB Carathon, benefiting the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And gosh, a lot of great things have happened over 25 years. That this got started when Neil Bortz, Clark Howard, and I were tasked with coming up with a public service project that our listeners could buy into. And when I saw what was going on at the then fairly small Aflac Cancer Center, headquartered at Eggleston, I said, you know what? If our listeners hear what's going on here, they will buy into it. If not financially, emotionally, because these folks are getting somewhere with childhood cancers that were just death sentences just a couple of generations ago. And sure enough, 25 years later, $34 million later from our generous listeners, this life-saving work continues at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the new Arthur Blank Hospital, in fact, where even more beds are dedicated to this life-saving technology. It's really the envy of the country. Patients from 45 different states have visited the Aflac Cancer Center for this life-saving treatment. And even though our local kids get priority, they've always believed in sharing the knowledge with their pediatrician oncology training program. So, Mark, they're able to export this technology they're coming up with, everything from precision medicine to new strides in gene therapy. And our listeners have had a huge part in making this happen. I'm so proud.
And if legend is correct, because I wasn't in that meeting with you and Neil and Clark, but Clark and Neil had their own charities that they were pitching to the station to get behind. And the legend is that after you pitched your idea about Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, that both Neil and Clark were like, all right, never mind our deals. Let's go with Scott's. Is that the way it went down?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty much. And they bought in. I mean, and they still do. I mean, and Clark Howard will be part of our broadcast again at the end of the Carathon this week. The final hours of the WSB Carathon, the most exciting hours on Atlanta radio. And we get a chance to tell these terrific stories, too. I mean, gosh, Jonathan O'Brien's profile of a cancer patient, Elena Schreckenberger, this morning on Atlanta's Morning News reminded me. She was first diagnosed back in 2001. And with a very aggressive form of nervous system cancer. And she went on to earn master's degrees in social work and bioscience at the University of Georgia, and is now paying it forward in more ways than you can even imagine. So one of the task mark of these terrific, brilliant caregivers is not only to save lives, but save the quality of life for these great kids and their families. And, one of the best things about this time of year, I get a chance to spend time with Dr. Doug Graham. He is the director of the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It's always good to speak to him.
Scott, thank you so much for the chance to talk to you again this year. This is a highlight of our year, the Carathon, and we're so appreciative of the partnership we have with you and your listeners.
I've always been fascinated by the strides and the different kinds of therapies that we've been able to talk about during the past 25 years of the Carathon. And it's obvious in the rising cure rates, making progress.
Scott, the cure rate that we've had for cancer over the last several decades has increased steadily through our partnership with other programs across the country. 5 decades ago, maybe the cure rate for pediatric cancer was almost none. We even debated at that time, is it ethical to treat children with chemotherapy? And through partnership with all these centers across the country and continue to evolve our protocols and optimize the way we provided cancer care, our cure rate currently is 80%, which is a phenomenal step forward. However, this last 20% is our focus. How do we have curative opportunities for this last 20% of patients? And one of the ways that we do this is through new technologies such as cellular therapy. This is using cells as drugs. A new way to think about treating some of our patients and is that we can harvest cells. Sometimes we take a cell straight from a patient, and we may train those cells outside of the patient's body in the laboratory, train those cells to identify and kill leukemia cells. And after we train those cells to do that, those immune cells, we give the patient back their own immune cells that are now trained to seek and kill those leukemia cells. And in some cases, we've been able to have sustained remission for many, many years. And now this decade's this technology is about a decade old, and we have some patients that have maintained a continuous remission for up to a decade with this new kind of therapy. Just a remarkable breakthrough in how we use cells as new treatment.
Oh, it certainly is. And people need to understand this is happening right here. This is happening right here in Metro Atlanta, isn't it?
It's happening right here in Metro Atlanta. So we have been part of the trials to develop this therapy in cellular therapy across the country in partnership with other centers and with pharmaceutical companies. But the exciting thing now about the new hospital is that we have 4 GMP rooms in the new hospital. The GMP, Good Manufacturing Practices rooms, are ways that we can manufacture cells for cellular therapy right in the new hospital. So this is the first time within the walls of the hospital that we have capability not only to partner with other places, but we can manufacture cells directly within the new hospital that we can use for treatment of our children.
That's quite amazing. That is just quite amazing. And you mentioned the 80% cure rate now, then that's the big number. I would think that and I hate to call them common, but maybe some of the more common forms of leukemia, the rate's even higher.
Absolutely, and we are every success we celebrate, and leukemia is not one disease, but different types of leukemia have different risk factors for maintaining a remission, a continuous remission. The more favorable types of leukemia, we're as high as 95% cure rate for some children that have the more favorable types of leukemia. As a matter of fact, in some of the cases, we're actually trying to figure out how can we even pull back on some of the therapy that we give them to maintain these high rates. So those are the successes. You know, we still have certain types of leukemia and other types of cancers in which the cure rate can still be very poor, in some cases less than 20%. So that's the focus. How do we focus on those types of cancers with new treatments such as cellular therapy and such as precision medicine, that we can have new opportunities for those children as well.
One of my heroes, Dr. Doug Graham, the director of the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And in the decade that Dr. Graham has been here, Mark, they have grown their life-saving faculty from 72 to 132 world-class researchers and physicians that are helping find new cures and more effective treatments every day, thanks to our listeners.
Love Dr. Graham, such a mensch. I'm going to put you on the spot. The 80% cure rate, you probably don't know offhand, but 25 years ago when you came up with the idea for the Care-a-thon, do you remember what the cure rate was back then? I know it was lower, but I'm just trying to remember how much lower.
It was, as I remember, it was in the 50% range, maybe?
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, and don't hold me to that, but that just underscores how dramatic the advances have been. And you know, success builds on success, Mark. I mean, every time they come up with something that works, they're able to translate that into even more successes. And you mentioned precision medicine just a moment ago. They help pioneer that way to treat cancers and blood disorders with the just right treatment based on the genetic makeup for each patient. So they get just enough medicine to do the job that will save their quality of life as well as their lives.
It's remarkable. And I was at the new hospital when it was still under construction and getting the tour there. And the GMP rooms, as Dr. Graham mentioned, everyone was so excited about those, that they can actually produce the cures on site, on campus. That's remarkable.
People often ask me, what's your goal for the Care-a-thon? And my goal is the next dollar. And so if you've got $5, $10, $20 that you can spare to help this effort go forward right here in Metro Atlanta, and again, they're exporting this technology around the nation and around the world. I hope you'll go to WSBradio.com/Carathon. Find out more about what's going on, and if you can, donate. It makes a difference. We know it does. We know where the money goes, and it makes a huge difference.
And the pre-sale of our incentives already up there. If you want to have lunch with us, the Mark Arum Show listener lunch is up there. My Herman K 999 dinner is up there. Amazing incentives. You can pre-buy them right now. You can beat the rush of the Carathon that starts Thursday morning. It's WSBradio.com/Carathon. The Godfather of the Carathon, Mr. Scott Slade. Scott, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend.
Mark, thank you for the time, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you later in the week.
There you go. Scott Slade, who famously didn't go to the Beatles concert in 1965.
Too much noise. Too much screaming.
Scott Slade, like me, was an old man at the age of 9. Thanks, Scott. We'll talk to you during the Carathon. Right now, though, we got to talk to Smiling Mark McKay and check the roads on this Tuesday morning.
Trying to get into and out of Sandy Springs, a bit of a chore this morning. It was from Cobb County and Smyrna Vinings. That's been slow, leaving I-75 past a crash we see on the jam cam. Had to hold all lanes to get it off to the right. That's where it is now, right lane on 285 eastbound at New Northside Powers Ferry exit 22. Day long and almost week long, at least through Thursday. Construction Northside Perimeter Sandy Springs, 285 westbound past Roswell Road exit 25 takes out a right lane, and those delays are back into Dunwoody, putting a little extra pressure on that southbound ride at a Buckhead on 485 leaving Brookhaven headed toward Atlantic Station. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Don't be fooled by the big box brands. Window Comfort's exclusive window line is custom built for Georgia weather, installed by in-house pros and guaranteed never to fog. With factory direct pricing, it's affordable for everyone. Go to windowcomfort.com for real quality that lasts.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Has your pest control company told you they won't be coming inside anymore and they raised their prices? Mark Arum here for my bug and critter company, Breda Pest Management. They protect the outside and inside of your home. It's the bugs inside you want gone. So if your pest company is doing less and charging more, you need Breda. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hey folks, it's Scott Slade. You've heard me talk for years about how Myland is saving homeowners hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month. Well, here's something that comes up often. Does it make sense to refinance your mortgage and pay off high-interest credit card debt? Well, even if you have a low interest rate on your mortgage, that isn't helping you if you're carrying credit card debt month to month. Myland sees this every day, where people call in and wish they had done something sooner. Holding on and making minimum payments on your credit cards is only making the situation worse. There isn't one solution for everyone, which is why I trust and believe in my friends at Myland. They'll shoot straight and give you an honest assessment for you and your family at no cost. Do yourself a favor. Give Myland a call. Find out how much you could be saving. 770-817-2000. Call 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Hey, friends, is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking about surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Aram. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Game changer. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Listen, it doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. I want you to learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
10:55 on the Mark Aram Show. A lot of big stuff to cover throughout the broadcast. 11:35. Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution live in studio. Got some big political news on who may or may not run for the Senate seat here in Georgia. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. I'm sure you have, listeners. You're in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and then you hear, the sirens behind you, and it's an ambulance, fire truck, police officer. You can't get through because of traffic. It seems, Deborah, that the city of Roswell might have a solution for our emergency vehicles getting stuck at traffic lights.
Yeah, I thought you were going to play your French siren there for a second. The city of Roswell is putting in this new technology. It's a GPS technology, and it's going to go into all their police cars, fire trucks, ambulances, and it's going to basically connect with traffic lights. So as they get closer to those lights, it'll automatically change them to yellow, then green, so that the cars can go through faster. You don't have to worry about turning on the siren. Maybe you're hoping cars will get out of the way. It'll be able to go through a lot faster. It can also detect if they need to turn to make sure those turn lanes are ready to go too. And it's going to improve emergency response times, reduce crashes, and just make the road safer for everybody.
The most extreme example of adult panic is being in traffic and nowhere to move with an ambulance, right? Like we've all, where do you want me to go? There's no, I hate that because you want to obviously give them a direct route. So City of Roswell, good job on that. And traffic in Roswell stinks, so it'll help. Now, I think allegedly on the black market, at least I've seen it in movies, that technology already exists for bad guys. Where they can change the traffic lights. But anyway, actually, it goes all the way back to Harlem Nights. Eddie Murphy changed the traffic lights during that. Anyway, good on Roswell. Got to get those first responders through the traffic. All right, quick break. When we come back, not good news when it comes to the nation's power grid. How much energy is being sucked up by these huge data centers? We'll go in depth with Bloomberg News next on The Mark Aram Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the portfolio x-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the portfolio x-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Happening right now, Gwinnett police are on the scene of a homicide. This is in a church parking lot off Webgen House Road. No word on any possible suspects or motives at this time. We'll bring you more as we get it from Gwinnett police. This is new this morning. 3 juveniles are now in custody after a boy was shot in the head in a Mableton neighborhood. We told you about it yesterday. Cobb County Police announcing the arrest this morning. Officers responding to the 1900 block of Paget Drive just after 4 on Monday afternoon. They found the boy with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. He is in critical condition right now. The investigation is ongoing. Again, no names or ages have been released. We'll bring you more on that story as we get it. It is going to be very hot today. We're headed for an afternoon high of 95, and it's not just hot here. More than 65 million Americans are under some sort of heat warning. Meteorologist Ginger Z today says mainly folks in the Mideast and here in the South will be feeling the heat.
We do have those extreme heat warnings from St. Louis right down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So it kind of travels along that valley of the Mississippi River. And that's just for heat indices up to 112. Also, the overnights are going to be really warm.
And she says the heat will move eastward towards the end of the week. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards coming up in about 2 minutes. Well, traffic signals in the city of Roswell are being outfitted with technology designed to improve response times for emergency vehicles.
All 107 lights in the city will soon have the technology from Alpharetta-based Applied Information. A video on Roswell's social media explains how the system works.
Emergency vehicles communicate wirelessly to request a green light as the vehicle approaches the intersection. The system also triggers a yellow, then red light for cross traffic.
It reduces the risk of crashes and can improve response times by up to 20%, and those precious seconds can make all the difference in life or death emergencies. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Now to Cobb County, where commissioners there will hold their final public hearing and vote tonight on a proposed $1.3 billion budget. The plan keeps property taxes flat. It includes employee raises of 2 to 5% and adds $18 million to the general fund. The vote comes after commissioners managed to erase a projected $7 million deficit. They credit stronger than expected property tax growth and lower health care cost. Coca-Cola will soon offer a version of its soda made with U.S. cane sugar. The announcement comes after President Trump said last week that the soft drink company had agreed to use cane sugar in its soda rather than corn syrup. However, Atlanta-based Coca-Cola saying that the version of the soda announced today will be available in addition to its traditional recipe using corn syrup. The cane sugar version of the soda will be available this fall. Health experts have said that health impacts of cane sugar compared to corn syrup are basically the same. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 23 at 44,346. NASDAQ is down almost 0.5%, and the S&P is also in the red slightly. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Right now, watching those brake lights on the north side perimeter, 285 westbound, the outer loop. Out of Dunwoody into Sandy Springs with that right lane construction that's going to be with us all week between Roswell Road and Riverside Drive. Also, crash pushed off to the right over by the mall at Stonecrest in Lithonia, 20 westbound near Evans Mill Road, exit number 74. And seeing some brake lights on I-85 northbound as you leave Cleveland Avenue, ramping onto 75-85 northbound. I will investigate that, see if anything's slowing that ride down. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy and hot today, high 95. That's trending about 5 degrees above average. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Tomorrow's high is 86.
All right, and you will already need the air conditioning. It is hot, 86 degrees in Johns Creek, 87 in Covington, Dunwoody. You have 85 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you.
11:04 on this increasingly warming Tuesday news day. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Momentarily, the president of the Philippines is going to visit the White House. We'll jump up to the White House and see President Trump and the Philippine president take any questions from the media. Big news today, we think, in the Epstein case. The Department of Justice, you heard the breaking news here on the Mark Aram Show, said it plans to reach out to Deborah Ghislaine Maxwell, thank you, for a meeting amid recent calls for the associate of Jeffrey Epstein to testify about the accused sex trafficker. Speaker Mike Johnson says we are not going to vote anytime soon on the floor of the House to release the Epstein file. They went on recess early, drawing the ire of some conservative Republicans, including Marjorie Taylor Greene and pretty much every Democrat in Congress there. So some development on the Epstein files, the lawsuit President Trump filed against the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal reporter has been booted from the pool on the president's forthcoming international trip. So any developments on that, we will bring them to you live here on WSB Radio. Joining us now, though, our buddy Rory O'Neill, national correspondent du jour. Rory, as always, appreciate your time, my friend. I saw this pop on social media. In fact, I think it was our buddy in Washington, Jamie Dupree, posting about the increase in beef prices. I had no idea that beef prices have been shooting up.
Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge, and beef is the new egg, apparently. You know, we saw the egg prices spike last year because of the avian flu. That seems to have come under control, but solving the beef price problem, that's a whole lot trickier because a lot of different factors are keeping the price or pushing the price to now record levels. Beef is averaging about $9.26 a pound overall. Choice cuts can be a whole lot more expensive than that. Ground beef alone is up more than 10% this year, but you've got higher feed prices. You've got cattle herd sizes that are at their lowest level in nearly a century. You've also got higher fuel costs, higher labor costs, either raising the cattle or processing the beef. So it's higher prices are ended up all along the chain, finally end up on your plate, probably with a smaller portion.
So dying of 1,000 different cuts instead of like the egg situation where we had a bad case of the avian flu. That's interesting. But gas prices, I filled up the other day, and I was pleasantly surprised at the total at the end of my fill up.
Right? It's not terrible, right? It's about where it was last year. We haven't seen a huge move, depending on where you are. But Gas Buddy says this week is the peak week for gasoline demand across the U.S. So it'll be about 9.2 million barrels of daily gasoline consumption here in the U.S. National average for gas, $3.13 a gallon. In Georgia, it's around $2.85 according to Gas Buddy data. And again, the prices are about where they were a year ago. Typically, we see the highest prices in the spring when the refineries are making that transition to that summer formulation. That's when prices tend to be the highest, but pretty good right now, the fact that this is peak week and things are pretty flat.
Rory, give me that number again. How much gasoline do we use daily?
About 9.2 million barrels per day.
Wow. That's a lot of that's a lot of gas. Unbelievable. All right. Finally, economically, real estate prices. I've noticed here in Metro Atlanta, it definitely seems to be a buyer's market. Is that what we're seeing nationwide as well?
Yeah, we have seen that flip happen. New listings of homes for sale fell more than 3% in June to the lowest level since October of 2023, according to Redfin. Active listings also were down a little bit month over month. So So what we're seeing is a lot of people are just staying out of the market. They are the would-be buyers are backing off with promises or hope that mortgage rates would start to come down after hitting around 7% again. And now a lot of would-be sellers are saying, forget it, the market isn't right since this is turning into a buyer's market out there. And there's still this frustration of a lot of people who'd like to sell their home, maybe upgrade into something, but they don't want to give up that sweet mortgage rate of like 2.8%. And that's why there's this lock-in. One thing that's interesting, in my social media feed the other day, I saw a news report that talked about how in 1981, it was a clip from 81, when the mortgage rates hit 20%. Wow. Imagine that today.
Oh, poo. Let's never let that happen again. Rory, great stuff as always. Have a great day, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
I apologize to the listeners. I've been beating this drum for a long time now, and what I believe is going to be an exponential need in our energy moving forward here in the United States and maybe even globally. Covering the energy sector for Bloomberg News, Noreen Malik joins us live on the Mark Arum Show. Noreen, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Just here in Metro Atlanta, we see so many data centers pop up, and they just suck energy out of the system. New watchdog says that maybe the U.S. power grid isn't ready for all these new data centers and how much energy Americans are using now.
Yeah, I think the issue is that these data centers are so big that they can individually consume enough power that like small towns or cities can be at like 1 gigawatt or more, or some of these projects that we're looking at. And so this watchdog is specifically for PJM interconnection, which serves more than like 67 million people from like the northern edge of North Carolina to New Jersey and all the way out to like Chicago area. And basically the idea has been that all these power plants run at reduced capacity throughout the year. You can run them more and create more power for data centers. And he was saying at this conference in Northern Virginia yesterday, which is the data center capital of the world, that actually that's not the case. We don't have enough spare capacity, and these data centers need to build their own power plants if they want to connect.
Wow. And spoiler alert, a lot of these data centers are linked to the ever-growing AI industry. That need is not going to slow down. We are going to see more and more data centers built across the country.
Yeah, and that's really the big pinch point is like all these grids across the country have these very aggressive demand growth projections, and can they actually be served? Because can you build power infrastructure fast enough? And so that's what everyone's trying to figure out. You have to build transmission lines, you have to build power plants, there's supply chain issues, there's inflation, the cost of everything is going up. So at what cost and how quickly? And of course, as you know, AI is an innovation that can't wait. So there's real stress to figure it out.
So this independent watchdog solution, Noreen, is that the data centers themselves build their own power facilities. Is that likely to happen?
It is actually already happening. So on the largest U.S. grid, it hasn't really happened that much, but or we haven't seen it yet. But there are projects underway where so there's like a really long line or queue to build or get orders for big gas turbines. Those are like the workhorses of the grid. They're large facilities, 1 gigawatt or more, and those are sold out for like 5 years or more. And so people are stringing together smaller gas turbines that are like anywhere from like a couple hundred megawatts to like 15 or 5 megawatts, so putting them in a row, and then maybe like getting a small grid connection, because the big like pain point is a grid operator or utility has to do an analysis to make sure if you build this data center, it's not going to break the grid and cause blackouts. And so one way to alleviate that concern is to bring your own power generation. And so that's why they're stringing together these smaller ones with like batteries and solar in places. In Texas, they're already doing that. The Stargate project has like a couple hundred megawatts connection to the grid, and they're building a few hundred more with on-site generation, just to name a few.
Noreen Malik covers the energy sector for Bloomberg News, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Again, I've been pounding this to the listeners for a long time. To me, and I'm not in the business or the industry, but I think to meet the energy demand that we're going to need throughout the 21st into the 22nd century, to me the logical answer is going to be solar. And whether it's like 100 square mile solar fields, but the power of the sun is to me the only logical answer to satisfy the energy needs we need now.
I mean, a lot of people agree with you. For the past couple of years at least, solar has been the cheapest and fastest to add to the grid, and Texas has become the biggest developer of solar plus batteries, and that has really been a game changer for them. Their reliability, like the risk of blackouts, has decreased significantly, so the reliability has improved. The problem is with the One Beautiful bill and like an executive order that would potentially make it much more expensive to do so, and puts in potential limits on like kind of like where those components are built. So a lot of people are scrambling to figure out what's possible and how quickly that can happen. But yeah, I mean, I think for the first time ever, I've covered power for like over like 10 years. And this is the first time like since last year when people started talking about the AI boom that everyone in the industry, from utilities, gas generators, renewable developers and beyond, have all said we need every single megawatt. Everyone's on the same page. And so people are scratching their heads. Why are these rules coming out that make it harder?
I don't often align my views with Elon Musk, but I believe he's on board with increasing solar as well. Noreen is on Twitter with the greatest Twitter handle I've seen in quite some time, Nortorious. You can follow X, I'm sorry. She covers energy for Bloomberg. Noreen, fantastic stuff. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. And you might be driving right now, be like, Aram, this doesn't mean anything to me. It has no impact on my life. It's 87 degrees in Midtown right now. The more data centers are built, the more energy used by them, the more likely it is you are going to get home and you're not going to be able to use your air conditioner because there's just not enough energy for everybody to go around. Does that hit home for you? Blackouts, rolling brownouts, like this is actually a thing happening in some portions of the United States. God forbid it happens here. And I can't turn on my beloved, blessed, sweet air conditioning. By the way, Deborah Green, I finished it. I wanted to enunciate it properly. Deborah Green. I didn't know that I think it might be Great Britain or Australia. Do you know what they call air conditioning?
Oh, what do they call it?
Aircon.
Oh, okay. Like the movie.
Yeah, well, I guess I was like, they're like, yeah, when I went home and I was watching some video on social media, I think it was from England, and she's like, yeah, I go there and there's no aircon. And I was like, oh, that's actually a good. Hard. Yeah. But here's the thing. I think we should rename air conditioning.
Okay.
Because air conditioning, just if you look at the term air conditioning, that means it can be anything. Like when you turn on the heat, you're conditioning the air.
Exactly.
So maybe we need a different phrase. I mean, it's already in the vernacular. AC, we shorten it here, aircon, whatever you want to call it. But there's different types of air conditioning. When you turn on the humidifier, that conditions the air. Mm-hmm. So maybe we can brainstorm.
What are we calling it?
I don't know. Mr. Freeze-A-Lot? When you turn on Mr. Freeze, I don't know. Mrs. Freeze-A-Lot? The Freeze-A-Lot? Anyway, aircon is what they call it. So if you hear someone, I think it was England. If they refer to aircon, just know they're talking about air conditioning. My beloved, sweet air conditioning. All right, when we come back, we're going to preview the Treasury Secretary's big high-level meetings with Chinese delegations next week as the upcoming Chinese tariffs set to take place. First and foremost, though, as you crank that AC in your car, hopefully it is not... You're not seeing any delays on the road, I guess is what I want to say, Alex Williams.
Yeah, well, we got a few slow spots out there, Mark. 285 westbound on the north side. They're working in that hot air out on the right, in the right lane. 285 westbound, the outer loop in Sandy Springs between Roswell Road and Riverside Drive. Put extra pressure all morning on 400 southbound as people have been taking that to take 85 south to 75 north to make their way up toward Cobb County. And if you're traveling on the south side, also seeing some volume, 75 southbound through Stockbridge from Highway 138, but it breaks free once you get past Hudson Bridge Road, exit 224. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Head to your local Whole Foods Market to celebrate their Summer Fruit Fest with up to 40% off in-season fruit and more. Start saving now through July 29th. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Why do you always go after the game show host of The Price is
He's
Right?
your co-pilot for the ride
Don't
home.
tell me how to handle my life.
Eric Von Haessler.
Or anyone else.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Summer starts now at Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show here. Right now, Beaver Toyota is loaded with fresh inventory. They have the perfect Toyotas for your summer adventures, from road trips with your buddies to family trips to the beach, and they're offering huge savings, low financing, and all the Beaver benefits. See them on the web at beavertoyotacumming.com. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming, the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Men's Choice Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Katz with Choice Men's Health. Regardless of your age or medical condition, Choice Men's Health can safely restore your potency. Our customized solutions can eliminate your problem in just one visit. There's no pain, no surgery, and it's affordable.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit, or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health. The only choice for your health.
Summer is peak hosting season, right? Don't let a grimy house keep you from having company over. It's Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash got my place clean and bright and guest ready in just one day. They handled everything, house and deck, driveway, even my dirty roof, and their soft wash kept everything safe. No paint peel, no damage, just clean. If you got people coming over this summer, be sure Wise Guys Pro Wash comes by first. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off at wiseguysprowash.com. Book now before they fill up.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Motorcycle riders know that a distracted driver can knock you down. It's nice to know that Steel Horse Law can pick you back up. Hey, it's Eric Von Haessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. In the worst possible scenario, when someone causes you to lay your bike down, Steel Horse Law will get you the best possible settlement. Their name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies because Steel Horse Law is respected and will make them pay. Visit steelhorselaw.com.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
First time ever the song's been played on WSB Radio? What do you think? Probably.
Yes.
Happy 33rd birthday to Selena Gomez. This is her hit, Same Old Love. That's historic right there. That song has never been played on WSB Radio until 11:23 on July 22nd. Now, here's a question I have for you, Deborah.
Oh.
Why is she Selena Gomez, but it was Selena?
Because she mispronounced it.
Okay.
It's it's anglicized to Selena, right? Most people say Selena, even though the correct way would be Selena.
So that's just Selena Gomez.
Americanization,
Yeah. Is she's from America then? I would imagine.
She's American.
Yeah. So all right. So I just
As
want to
well
make
as Selena
sure.
was.
I just want to make sure it's not Selena Gomez. It's
Correctly, it would be.
Selena Gomez.
Yep.
Yeah, Selena Gomez. All right, thank you, Deborah. Anyway, happy birthday. She used to date Bieber. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Oh, I know. Luckily, she got out of that.
Well, listen, Bieber's had his issues, but we wish him well in his future endeavors. I've been teasing this. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will meet with Chinese officials next week, try to reach a trade deal. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has an update.
President Trump has set an August 12th deadline for higher tariffs on China. Bessent told Fox Business he and his Chinese counterparts will likely agree to an extension when they meet in Stockholm. Bessent also addressed Fed Chair Jerome Powell's future.
There's nothing that tells me that he should step down right now. He's been a good public servant.
Yesterday, Bessent called on the Fed to review its operations, including the over-budget renovation of its headquarters. President Trump has considered firing Powell. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Wow, that kind of sounded like an endorsement from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Fed Chair Jerome Powell. I wonder how the president is going to take that. Continue our coverage of the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Hollywood remembering the actor known as America's Son, grew up before millions of eyes on The Cosby Show, died in Costa Rica after apparently being caught offshore in a rip current. He was 54. ABC's Victor Oquendo's in Costa Rica.
For 8 seasons, Warner played the endearing, humorous Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, the sitcom becoming a cultural phenomenon. This morning, tributes pouring in. Tracy Ellis Ross, who played Warner's on-screen wife, writing, "You were my first TV husband. My heart is so sad. You made the world a brighter place." The actor leaving behind a wife and daughter.
Yeah, and he had a podcast, Deborah, called Nah. I'm not going to let you.
Nah.
Yeah,
It was
Nah. And part of it was the origin of it was he was an older dad, so he's 54. I believe his daughter was 7 years old. So he was an older dad. He leaves behind his wife and daughter. And believe it or not, we actually heard from Bill Cosby, his TV dad. This is from CBS.
He was never afraid to go to his room and study and make sure he followed whatever he had learned in the acting school.
Malcolm Jamal Warner, former resident of Atlanta, would appear at poetry readings and concerts, actor, producer, podcaster, and listen, he was my television older brother. I learned my life lessons through him on The Cosby Show, what to do and what not to do as I got older into my teen years. Rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. All right, quick break. When we come back, big political news here in the state of Georgia. Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution live in studio. That's next. You can watch Greg's appearance live. Just go to WSBRadio.com and click on that live stream link.
You know kids will ruin your life, right? Especially if you're a garage door. I mean, babies are adorable, don't get me wrong. But after that adorable phase where they barf and poop on everything, they turn into a cheap garage door's worst nightmare. Whacking tennis balls against the door all day, up and down every time they ride a bike. You dreamy young'uns might have the energy to start a family, but that rusty avocado green aluminum garage door that came with your house is too old for this jazz. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, insulated garage doors are built to stand up to family life. They resist dents, they don't ring like a gong when you whack them with a puck, and they go up and down, super quiet. as many times as your kids change their minds. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll treat you like family.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Critters creeping? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. In Gwinnett County, police are on the scene of a homicide. This is in the parking lot of a church. It's located off Webb Gin House Road. We have now learned that this was an Hispanic man in his 20s. He had suffered at least one gunshot wound. His name has not yet been released. So far, no suspects or motive. The investigation is ongoing. Check back for updates. Very hot this afternoon. We're headed for a high of 95, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. And some 70 million people under heat alerts across the middle of the country through Thursday. It's going to feel like 110 degrees in places from Kansas City, northeast to Milwaukee, and south to the upper Gulf Coast, including New Orleans, Mobile, and Tallahassee. Dr. Dale Kreiner is Chief Medical Officer with Methodist Medical Center in Memphis, Tennessee.
If you are out, you're starting to feel a little flush, you're sweating, your heart rate's up a little bit, you may be feeling a little faint, that's more heat exhaustion, and that's really your body warning you that you've got to get out of that heat.
Midweek, temperatures across the middle of the country will be 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of year. This is new this half hour. A woman who was arrested in Washington County, Pennsylvania, outside Pittsburgh, accused of being an imposter nurse, has ties to Georgia. Investigators allege that 39-year-old Shannon Womack used 20 aliases and 7 social security numbers to get jobs at numerous locations in western Pennsylvania over the last 5 years. Police say she is not a licensed health care provider. Pennsylvania State Trooper Rocco Gargiotti says the woman was arrested during a routine traffic stop.
The search warrant of the vehicle showcased multiple forms of ID, a lot of medical records were in the car, and a bunch of prescription medications that were attached to residents in healthcare homes or nursing home facilities.
And police say the alleged imposter nurse worked at healthcare facilities from Georgia to Connecticut over many years. The foreign ministers of more than 24 countries have signed a joint statement calling for an end of the war in Gaza and for all of the hostages being held by Hamas to be released. Matt Bradley has more.
28 Western countries, including the UK and France, criticized Israel's drip-feeding of aid and inhumane killing of civilians, including children in Gaza. In response, Israel blamed Hamas for starting the war and prolonging it, saying Hamas is responsible for suffering on both sides.
Canada, the UK, France, and Australia are among the countries signing on to the statement. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee criticizing the statement as disgusting, saying that Gaza suffers because of Hamas and that blaming Israel is irrational. Well, better emergency response times, improved safety. That's the goal of new technology being installed at Roswell intersections.
In an emergency, every second counts. That's why Roswell is installing cutting-edge traffic preemption technology at all intersections throughout the city.
Roswell releasing an explainer video on social media. Crews and emergency vehicles use wireless technology to trigger a coming signal, clearing the way for them to safely proceed. Now, if it speeds up response times by as much as 20%, while also reducing the risk of crashes. The same systems are in use in Alpharetta and in Marietta. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 45 at 44,358. NASDAQ is down almost 0.5%, and the S&P's also in negative territory. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Still seeing some brake lights out of Buckhead into Midtown Sabrina on 400 southbound, slowing, ramping on to 85 south as you try to make your way down to the ramps to 75 north and 17th Street. And the right lane construction, ongoing construction continues. 285 westbound, the outer loop getting past Roswell Road exit 25. Haven't seen any signs of that traffic pacing for blasting operations over on the west side. I'm going to check with the DOT and see if that will be happening today. And downtown, 75-85 northbound tapping the brake pedal, University Avenue up to Freedom Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds and trending hotter today. High 95, lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, and cooling down to a high of 86. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible tomorrow afternoon.
87 degrees right now in Douglasville. It's 86 in Canton. Snellville has 87 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Some of the bravest children I've ever met are going to become radio stars later this month.
The 25th annual WSB Radio Carathon is right around the corner.
Won't you please help?
Join us once again for 2 days of magic. This Thursday and Friday.
You can make miracles happen.
Donate today at WSBRadio.com/Carathon.
Barkis Hospital, we love you.
Georgia U.S. Senate race is heating up. Who's in, who's out? Greg Bluestein live with the latest from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. That is next on the Mark Arum Show. Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, sufficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA
MCO.
Summer heat will only lend a hand to all that's growing in your crawl space. Dave Baker here. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions will encapsulate it to keep mold, pests, and the unwanted out. Visit aquaguard.net for your free inspection.
AquaGuard. Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is right around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
11:37 on this fast-moving news day, Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew. Reminder, 25th Annual WSB Carathon kicks off this Thursday and Friday. Greatest two broadcast days of the year. The incentives, you can pre-buy the WSB Radio incentives online right now at WSBradio.com/Carathon. Maybe we can get a Greg Bluestein incentive for the WSB Carathon. You're a nice guy. You donate your time and energy. Bowling with Bluestein.
Bowling with Bluestein. Pickleball with Bluestein.
Pickleball. That's
come beat me at the JCC.
That's more apropos for 2025. Greg, thanks for coming in studio. Saw your amazing work again on AJC.com. I'm a full subscriber to the print and digital edition, so you work for me now. Talking about the U.S. Senate race, Rich McCormick rules out a U.S. Senate run in Georgia. He had been floated as a possible candidate. Why did he decide not to? Or what's your reporting telling
Yeah,
you?
he's not running in 2026, according to a senior advisor to McCormick. He was seen as sort of a wild card, right? He could get in, he could shake things up, or he could stay out and stay in a relatively safe Republican district up in North Atlanta. And he's picking the latter. He could still run in 2028. But, Mark, the real story here, too, is the field is starting to really solidify, right? We've got Insurance Commissioner John King, Congressman Buddy Carter, and within, I think, days to weeks, we could see two more candidates get in. That's Congressman Mike Collins out in Jackson, and former football coach Derek Dooley is making a lot of moves to set up a run.
So Dooley, and we've been covering this, Dooley and Collins, they're not officially in the race.
No.
But the fact that Dooley hired the groundwork of Governor Kemp's amazing political career, Cody Hall, most notably, the kingmaker, I call him Cody
You've
Hall.
had on the show plenty of times.
Yeah, like you don't hire Cody Hall unless you're gonna run, right?
Yeah. That he's telegraphing. Not only is he telegraphing he's going to run, but he's also telegraphing that he's going to run in the Brian Kemp mold.
Yeah.
Right. He's going to run. He might end up. He's going to certainly try to get Donald Trump's endorsement, but he's very, very close to Brian Kemp. We've always known that. Now this is just sort of firming up those ties.
Hypothetically, let's say we do have 5 candidates: Buddy, Dooley, Collins, King, and Raffensperger. Who knows what it's going to be? Those are 5, serious political candidates. And in order to get a win in a primary, you're going to have to roll your sleeves up and maybe sling some mud. That is probably the last thing that Governor Kemp and President Trump want is a bloody primary.
Yeah, that sets up a brawl, right? And a brawl for different lanes. You've got the MAGA lane, which is there's a lot of folks going in that MAGA lane. You've got the more mainstream lane, and that could be the lane that Raffensperger and maybe Derek Dooley try to go into. You've got the candidates that try to do it all. Who try to win that joint endorsement from Kemp and Trump. And as you said, that's exactly what Kemp is trying to avoid.
Yeah.
He saw what happened in 2020. He saw what happened in 2022. He wants to hopefully unify the field around one consensus candidate, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen.
We've been paying attention because we're getting more candidate news on the Senate side. Let's go to the governor's race on who is going to replace Governor Kemp. Termed out, right? He's not running because he doesn't want to, but he's a term limited there.
He can't run for a third term.
We've been seeing news on both sides of the aisle. Catch the listeners up on who we know is going to be running on the Democratic side and the Republican side.
Yeah, on the Democratic side, you have State Senator Jason Estevez, former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. They're already in the race. We expect former DeKalb CEO Michael Thurmond to maybe enter that race as well.
We can pause there. We've been waiting.
We've been waiting.
Like, how much runway does he have left to get in this race?
I mean,
time?
You still have plenty of time until next year's primary and certainly until the November election. But for the reason why these candidates are getting in so early, Mark, is to raise the money, right? And Bottoms and Estevez both already have 7 figures in their campaign coffers, more than $1 million, which doesn't seem like a lot, but at this stage in the race is an awful lot. By the time we get to next November, that will be, a fraction. That'll be a drop in the bucket. But right now, it signals that they've got some campaign strength. So that would be the reason why Michael Thurmond would have wanted to get in already, to start raising that money, start competing with them. On the other side of the ledger, you already have Attorney General Chris Carr, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, and Burt Jones came in with a whole bunch of cash, $10 million self-loan.
That was a big amount of change. That could change the shape of the election. Is there a possibility, Shelley Winter, who you appear on and you listen to him every night, when he had Marjorie Taylor Greene on, it seemed like she opaquely opened the door for perhaps a run for governor.
Yeah.
Would that change the landscape, do you think?
It would. Look, she's been dropping hints left and right. She's at the state Republican convention. She told a room full of more than 1,000 delegates that she could run and that she's not happy with the way what the field looks like right now. She's not happy with Chris Carr. This was before Burt Jones announced his campaign, but everyone knew he was going to get in, and she's not satisfied with the field. That could be really interesting because Burt Jones and Marjorie Taylor Greene would be fishing from the same pond, right? They'd both be going after the same core MAGA voter. Chris Carr also needs to get those voters, but his path is a little bit more towards the Brian Kemp, Nathan Deal, Johnny Isaacson mold of voter.
Speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is one of a handful of House Republicans now that want the full release of the Epstein file. It's a national story, but obviously our Georgia representatives are going to be asked about this. I'm sure at some point Governor Kemp is going to be asked about this. What impact locally do you think that this huge Epstein story nationally is going to have?
Yeah, and it's interesting, Mark, because we've also seen some national Democrats calling for the same thing, saying, hey, release the files, let's see it. We have not seen that same sort of outspoken stance from Senators Warnock or Ossoff. Or much of the Georgia congressional Democratic delegation, but certainly Marjorie Taylor Greene is representing a part of the Republican segment of the electorate that really has been demanding these files for a long time, and we have news now that looks like the House might adjourn until September to potentially avoid the vote on this.
Now, would that cost her, because Marjorie Taylor Greene, not shy to get in front of a microphone, she has been very vocal that she wants the Trump team to fulfill what was allegedly a campaign promise and transparency. Will this hurt her relationship and maybe an endorsement from President Trump, no matter what she wants to do in the future politically?
Yeah, it's really interesting because she bristles at any mention of the word split between her and Donald Trump, or even break, anything like that, because she says that, hey, she's still aligned with the MAGA movement. They might have differences in opinions, and it's not just about Epstein. It's about foreign wars, foreign policy, the U.S. attack against Iran and their nuclear sites, U.S. help for Ukraine in its battle with Russia, those sorts of issues. She still says she's the most ardent Trump loyalist there can be, but certainly there are some growing differences between the two, and she would fight back about any perception of any sort of split between the two, but still there's policy differences. And the question is whether or not Trump could still support her. Should she run for governor? And Arizona is this interesting model because it used to be Trump would either stay out of a race or endorse one candidate. In Arizona, he's endorsing two candidates in one of their high-profile races. That's something that's keeping the Burt Jones team up at night because, of course, they want the president's endorsement, but they don't want it to be parsed out between him and another rival like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. I wish I had more time, and this is maybe I'm going to go ahead and toss you. I'm pitching you a story idea because I know how tough it is as a journalist too. The redistricting story that's going on in Texas right now is absolutely bonkers. Mid-census redistricting, and is that something that might happen here in Georgia? It seems like the rules have just completely gone out the window when it comes to gerrymandering and redistricting. Maybe that's something that we can read a byline from Greg Bluestein on the AJC.
I checked about it this morning. It does not look like there's any traction there right now, but that could change.
All right, Greg, fantastic. Thanks for coming. Oh, by the way, you ran in the Peachtree Road race, right? Set a PR? No?
But I also had to do I was helping do the broadcast, so I had to do mid-run interviews. So
but
that was
a
new one. I did.
How many years in a row now? That's
24.
Look at you.
Yes.
And he's only 27, folks. He started running when he was 3. Online at Bluestein, you can see him on everywhere. He's ubiquitous. He is the king of Georgia politics. He is Greg Bluestein. So good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, too.
And, by the way, he mocked Deborah. He mocked Vinny's bagel order from last week. Turkey, sausage, egg, and cheese on a cinnamon raisin. But we went to Brooklyn Bagel again today, Vinny, and he learned his lesson.
I'm going there right now.
And just got a plain bagel. Greg, great to see you, my friend. Good to see you. All right, we'll come back, put a bow on this, update our top local stories. But in the meantime, At 11:47, let's check that noon time rush hour, heading out to lunch. Any delays getting lunch right now, Alex Williams?
Not looking too bad right now, Mark. You are seeing still a little bit of volume heading toward Midtown on 85 and 400 South, coming to their merging point, heading down towards 17th Street. Don't forget, right lane construction going to be out there all week. Right lane 285 westbound, that's what's blocked between Roswell Road and Riverside Drive. And still seeing a tap of the brakes getting past a crash. It's been on the right shoulder, passing them all at Stonecrest, 20 westbound Evans Mill Road, exit 74. Traffic brought to you by Sam's Club. There's still time to enjoy locked-in summer value at Sam's Club till July 22nd. Prices are held on over 1,000 items. Join now and make the most of summer. So sign up for a membership at samsclub.com/join. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
You're by the pool.
You're relaxing.
You're sipping a drink.
Someone brings you a towel.
Adjust the umbrella.
Sound like a fantasy?
It's not.
This is Sandra from Grayson, Georgia. I just won $1,000 from WSB.
WSB's $1,000 Thursdays this Thursday.
Listen for the keyword at 9, 10, and 11 a.m. and 12, 1, 2, and 3 p.m.
Enter the keyword at WSBRadio.com or the WSB app.
I just put the keyword in, and oh my God.
Win $1,000. Get all the info at WSBRadio.com.
Thank you.
$1,000
Thursdays from 95.5 WSB.
Where Atlanta wins.
2 keys to surviving a brutal Atlanta summer. Number 1, stay hydrated. Drink your water, folks. Number 2, make sure your air conditioning unit can handle your needs. It's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. You need AC this summer. You need an AC that works and is reliable, and you need to save money. Check out this offer. Get any sized AC, just $69.99 a month. That's it. 0 down. Low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are no additional charge for life. An unbeatable lifetime warranty. Plus, you get 24/7 service and next day installations guaranteed, or Reliable pays you $500. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the schedule service button, or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
Hey folks, it's Scott Slade. You've heard me talk for years about how Myland is saving homeowners hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month. Well, here's something that comes up often. Does it make sense to refinance your mortgage and pay off high-interest credit card debt? Well, even if you have a low interest rate on your mortgage, that isn't helping you if you're carrying credit card debt month to month. Myland sees this every day, where people call in and wish they had done something sooner. Holding on and making minimum payments on your credit cards is only making the situation worse. There isn't one solution for everyone, which is why I trust and believe in my friends at Myland. They'll shoot straight and give you an honest assessment for you and your family at no cost. Do yourself a favor. Give Myland a call. Find out how much you could be saving. 770-817-2000. Call 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Recently, the owner of a large mattress retailer was proudly sharing how over 65% of their queen mattress prices are $15.99 or higher. At the Original Mattress Factory, our focus is a little bit different. We build superior quality mattresses right here in town and do our best to save you as much money as possible. That's why at OMF, nearly 80% of our queen mattresses are lower than those prices others brag about. Stop in or check out originalmattress.com to learn more.
Did you know that D. Geller & Son Jewelers has been Atlanta's engagement ring and wedding band destination since 1939? It's Katie Kiley, and it's easy to know why. They've handpicked diamonds that just shine brighter at a value that can't be beat. D. Geller's got an unbelievable selection of engagement rings and wedding bands, from classic to modern to off the wall, because you like what you like. They can bring your dream ring to life like they have mine, with full custom abilities. D. Geller & Son, Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, and at dgeller.com.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows.
and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Please plead to counts 1 and 2.
Absolutely 100% not guilty. Absolutely 100% not guilty. 30 years ago today on WSB Radio, O.J. Simpson entered that plea. Not guilty for the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Welcome back to the market. That was 30 years ago. Holy smokes. Right now, President Trump hosting the Philippine president at the White House. Let's dip in for a second.
And they used that. Now, the one thing they weren't able to do was to, and probably the only thing I respect about the press in years is the press refused to write it before the election. They refused to put it in.
All right, President Trump's talking about Tulsi Gabbard's report on Obama. I'm not really sure. Eric Erickson will cover that coming up in just a couple of minutes. When I first moved to Decatur, Deborah, I was really excited that down the block was a Del Taco.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to lie, I've been a half dozen times. It's never really blown me away, kind of mid. No offense. I mean, I'm still going, but it was not, it wasn't it didn't live up to the hype. Now I get it. Del Taco declaring bankruptcy.
Yeah, Del Taco, one franchise of the Del Taco has filed for bankruptcy. It's part of a larger group called Matador Records, and they operate some of the Del Tacos here in Georgia. Well, they just filed for Chapter 11 because they were trying to expand, but maybe tried to expand a little bit too much. So they took out this big loan, and then they were hit with maybe less people going, operational cost increases, rapid expansion, and they realized they can't sustain it. So they've filed for Chapter 11, but it doesn't say which Del Tacos are going to be closing. So you still may be able to go to yours.
And it might be a me problem. I don't have much experience at a Del Taco, so I don't really know what to order. So I kind of just freeball it every time I go.
Is it like when you went to the Dairy Queen and you tried to order Baskin Robbins?
No,
You're going to Del Taco ordering Taco Bell?
I went to Baskin Robbins and tried to order Dairy Queen, and they were like, no, we don't have Blizzards here, sir. This is not Dairy Queen. I don't know. If someone has ordering tips, I want to give Del Taco another chance. I just freak out when I get to a new menu and I don't know what to order. I'm like, give me the number 8. And the number 8's mid. So maybe it's just me. Shoot me a DM on one of the socials if you are a Del Taco fan and tell me exactly what I need to order.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today's National Hammock Day today. As you know, the biggest one is in North Carolina. You can find the largest hammock in the world, which spans 42 feet and has been woven from over 10,000 feet of rope. The hammock can hold 8,000 pounds.
Is that why you're wearing a banana hammock today?
Yes, so are. Can't see it from down here.
National Hammock. I'm nervous on hammocks. Like I've never felt comfortable.
Balance.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna spin over and flip anyway. Enjoy your hammock today, my friends. Let's bang out some stars of the show and go home.
And
go
now,
home.
are you guys ready for the Mark
Go
Aram
home.
Star Show?
How about classy Freddie Blassie? Fred Blankenship joined us live in studio talking about the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner. And Vinny, Deborah, got a picture with Fred. He never met Fred.
Nice.
The picture's now up on Vinny's Instagram. Shout out your Instagram, Vinny, so people will follow you.
At Down South
Vinny.
Down south, Vinny.
Vinny.
Vinny's got he had such a smile on his face meeting Fred Blankenship. Check that out. Henry Golding, actor. Nick Young from I can't believe I got to interview him. He gets a star of the show. Scott Slade, fantastic stuff as always. Noreen Malik from Bloomberg News joined us live talking about the energy-sucking data centers around the globe and this amazing country of ours. Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Stephen Portnoy from ABC on the breaking news with the Epstein files. The Department of Justice setting up a meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. Deborah gets the star of the show for helping me out with my pronunciation of Ghislaine and Selena. I brought bagels on a Bagel Tuesday. And Longoria, you're stoic. So there you go. Pretty much everyone. Oh, Monica Kaufman-Pearson for allowing us to use her audio of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Big stuff on the show tomorrow. More in-depth coverage of the Georgia Senate race. Political analyst Stephen Lawson's going to join us live, and we'll, of course, bang out the top local stories throughout the show. Social media is active, at Mark Arum, at WSB Radio. Get a chance today, folks. Go to WSBRadio.com/Carathon and pre-order those amazing incentives. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Homeowners insurance premiums have been going up and up and up and away. And imagine after you're already paying these higher premiums, you may be way underinsured on your home. How much does your insurer have your home insured for? They subtract the value of the land. The rest is for the structure itself. Odds are you were way underinsured for homeowners. If you're going to pay all those premiums, at least make sure you have adequate coverage for your home value.
If you're thinking about selling your home this summer, now is the time. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home hassle-free and make the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain. The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. Skip the hassle of costly repairs and sell your home stress-free. There's no showings, no open houses, and no waiting or wondering when your home's going to sell. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It is 12 o'clock on this Tuesday, July 22nd. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. The news here at noon is sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive. And our top local story in Gwinnett County. Police have now launched a homicide investigation after a man's body is found outside of Canyon United Methodist Church.
Someone passing by the church in the 2400 block of Webb Gin House Road found the body in the parking lot around 6 a.m. and called police.
Upon arrival,